Time now is 6:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right, good morning, Rose. Good morning, Carl.
Hi, McGraw.
Did I ever tell you like what my favorite kind of cheese is? You know, the one you keep around for emergencies?
What kind of cheese do you keep around for emergencies?
Just in case so.
Hola.
Wait a minute. Justin Queso? That's nacho cheese.
Well played.
Can I say something?
Sure.
You smell great today.
How do you do?
What?
He does. Can you not smell that?
I usually have a very keen sense of smell. I haven't regarded it yet. Is it a new cologne that you're wearing?
It's eau de toilette.
It's an Axe body
Hair gel, maybe?
No, same gel, same soap, same toothpaste.
Are you rocking the Joop?
I got a little dep in my hair. No.
You do. We have the term, right? Dep?
No, I don't use dep anymore. I've graduated to Aveda. I only do Aveda.
Right. Yeah. That's how it's most of it.
Only Aveda touches this hair.
Dude, Aveda products smell amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, but I use Aveda every day, so I don't know what the...
I don't know what it is.
Interesting.
Sorry.
All right.
You should be.
Okay, Rose, I need you to play... Is there any way you can play like a 30-second sort of song?
While I run out to the car.
I need to talk to Rose for like 30
Oh,
seconds.
you want me to leave? Or
No.
you
I need to talk to
Rose.
Rose off the air. But I don't want to go to a commercial break. So I need you like please stand by music.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, that's sort of what I need. Like a please stand by. We're having technical difficulties. Please.
Put the station on hold, you mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want you to. Yes, I want to stop the station. We're back in a minute. Okay, we solved the problem. We are back here. I had to send her to my car. She has to go pick up my dry cleaning, so I had to. No. I'm sorry. Okay, all right. We got lots to get to this morning. Jim Ryan, ABC News, is going to be checking in, and all hands on deck for FIFA and the World Cup. Has anybody noticed the tickets? Also, the controversy in Foxborough. We got lots to get to with all that. ABC News' Jim Ryan's going to be talking about that. Also, Brad Garrett's going to be here. Drones or lone wolf actors, the heightened concern of the homeland during these Iran bombings. And with the Department of Homeland Security closed, Brad Garrett, what does that do to weaken our home front? We will get into that with him at 6:50. Stephen Portnoy is going to be joining us. Trump is out selling the economy.
And that the war's over.
Yeah. Yes. Selling the economy to Ohio and Kentucky. Stephen Portnoy is going to give us the latest there. Antonio French is going to be joining us. Frank Cusimano. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, yesterday we were talking about this. The county council in St. Louis County wants to put on the ballot in August a countywide vote to whether or not you want to add a tax to out-of-state internet sales. Also, Dennis Hancock announced, I think it was last week, that he wants to run for St. Louis County Executive. Well, guess what? We have Dennis Hancock on the show today, and so it's perfect timing so we can ask him about that tax that so many people had questions about. And then we can talk to him about his campaign. Remember, Sam Page is not running for re-election, so it is a open seat. Brian Williams, Democrat, who is, I believe, in the House now, is announced he's running for the Democrats. Dennis Hancock also announced he's running. So we've got a couple of people who are going to square off a little bit later on, but we'll check in with Dennis Hancock in the 9 o'clock hour. So I did, truth is, oh, good. I did watch some of the World Baseball Classic. Thank you very much. I thought I had it in there. I apologize. I watched it last night.
In order for the U.S. to advance, Italy had to beat Mexico?
That is correct. Right. So the U.S. was on the cusp of not making the medal round, if you will.
Because of the round robin.
Because of the round robin, yeah. Italy played Mexico last night, and I actually sought out. I went to Google and said, where do I find the Mexico World Baseball Classic game?
Was it on Fox Sports?
Fox Sports 1?
Yeah, that's their national one.
Yeah, which I guess I had. I watched some of that game. Italy crushes Mexico.
They're undefeated.
Yeah, Italy. But I still can't figure out who any of these Italy players are. And either why is Thomas Seghese playing for Italy?
I'll say his name.
I never heard some of these other people, and yet they're all beating Mexico. Then the other thing is that Cuba's out. Cuba is out. Canada is in.
Canada almost won the World Series last year. They were one out away from winning the World Series.
There was only one native-born Canadian on that team. So that's bizarre.
And did you see Fox Sports got in trouble? They've been saying whenever a team is out, they've been putting that country and their flag and saying, like, Cuba eliminated.
Right.
When Israel got out, they put Israel eliminated and put their flag. And so, which they've been doing for every single country.
So people were offended because of the...
They're saying, hey, maybe not right now.
Right.
Even though they did that for every other country.
Right, meaning eliminated, not from the tournament, but from the face of the earth.
Because people used it inappropriately.
Yeah. Sure. I mean,
people get offended.
It's a very it's a world that is on edge. There's no question about that. But I actually ended up watching some of it, and you know what?
Who won?
Italy crushed
Destroyed him.
Yeah, Italy crushed him, like 9-1 or something.
Were you impressed?
I got to tell you, I was. You know what? It's like a moth to a flame. You can't help yourself.
Ooh, good baseball.
I watched some of it. I'm not going to lie. I watched it. I don't know. You know, it's baseball, so a port in any storm, I guess.
And the Italians beat the Americans.
And the Italians beat the Americans the night before, so we got all that going on. And then gearing up for St. Patrick's Day. Looking forward to that.
Did you start your stew?
I did. I did not start my stew.
It doesn't need to marinate for a day or two?
Though I was in a store yesterday looking at some corned beef. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just pick up the corned beef while I'm here. And I said, where's the corned beef? And I went to this somewhat, well, I'll tell you, I went to Straub's. Right? I happened to be in Straub's picking up something, right? And I was like, oh, where's your corned beef? They sell Kobe corned beef.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Yeah. Kobe corned beef. And let me tell you,
Bougie.
It's more than you are charged for getting your milk delivered.
Is that okay to like that? That to me would be bougie. If you showed up with Kobe cabbage.
If you show up with Kobe corned beef and cabbage, it doesn't mean you're bougie. That means you're rich.
Yep.
So I looked at the price and I was like, Emerson, we got to go. Emerson, I don't know how, but this is expensive.
This is more than your tuition.
Yeah. I was
like Emerson, you're not going to college.
I was like, whoa. So I did not buy the Kobe corned beef. So for those coming over out of my house, you'll be eating shoe leather and cabbage. And like it. Holy mackerel.
Kobe corned beef.
It's not bougie. If you can afford Kobe corned beef.
But that's the point. Like, you can't afford it, but you're buying it anyway because you want to impress your friends. It would be bougie if you have Kobe corned beef at your studio apartment.
And I put it on my credit card?
Yes. You make down payments. Put it on layaway.
Yeah. 6:15 here. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, there's a crash on 70 West near the Museo Bridge with traffic backed up to the Arch. 370 West is running slow from 270 to 94 due to construction. And at 9 p.m. tonight, 5570 West will be reduced to 2 lanes between Exchange and Illinois 203 for road work. The closures will last until noon on Saturday. This traffic report is brought to you by AAA Home Services. Call AAA Home Services, St. Louis's trusted home services repair team for 56 years for all your heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200, online at AAASTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We're done for storms for a while. The next rain chance doesn't arrive till Sunday, so we're dry, turning mostly sunny for the morning. Low of 32. Chilly start, but near normal. And a near normal high in the afternoon. 55, turning partly cloudy. Staying dry, a little bit windy Thursday night into Friday, but the wind's pumping the temperature up a little bit. A high of 62. Dry weather Friday and partly cloudy. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right. Are you over 65 and you keep yearning for a Medicare plan that actually works for you? People have been there. How about you're approaching 65 and you keep saying to yourself, oh, man, I gotta figure out what I'm doing with my health insurance. All two very plausible positions to be in. Relax, take a deep breath, calm down. Ryan Raphael will help you out. MedicareManSTL.com. MedicareManSTL.com. Ryan Raphael. He's been doing this a long time. Sits in his phone, sits at his desk with the headsets phone. You know, one of those headsets phones with the microphone. And he sits there and he answers the phone and he talks to people all day long. That's what he does. And there are different periods during the year which you can change, and it's very confusing, and I can't even begin to tell you when. But if you have any questions about the current plan you're on, or you're approaching 65, give him a call. It doesn't cost you anything, and let him help you figure out what's the best plan for you, not for your neighbor. Don't listen to the noise. Don't listen to a commercial on a random TV station. Ryan Raphael will be your go-to. He helps the nanny every single year. The nanny goes out and meets with him. They've struck up a friendship after all these years. She goes out and they do a sort of once-over. It's a 15-minute conversation. I think they end up spending the next half hour talking about each other's lives. And so he's become a friend over the years. And so you get great information from a great guy whose only purpose is to make sure you find the right plan. So whether you're 65, over 65, currently on Medicare, or a veteran, and you need some help, MedicareManSTL.com.
You can feel the Clydesdales circling the field. Hear the stands come alive. Smell the hot dogs, the popcorn, and cold beer in the air. See the crowd rise as the first pitch hits the glove. And just like that, a new season begins. The countdown is on until opening day, and tickets start at just $49. Don't miss St. Louis's favorite holiday. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/opening day.
Cardinals single-game tickets are now on sale for the 2026 season. The schedule delivers big-time matchups, including weekend series against the Cubs and Dodgers, and visits from the Boston Red Sox. Add in a promotions calendar stacked with fan favorites like all-new giveaways, a Hawaiian short and shirt set, golf-inspired hat, dark mode jersey, and a whole lot more. It's Busch Stadium at its best all season long. Lock in your seats today at Cardinals.com.
The madness has arrived. To check out our bracket reveal special Monday night at 7, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri, Woods Basement Systems, Lisi Lumber Company, and T.R. Hughes Homes. College basketball lives on the Big 550.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Well, if you don't like soccer, I would recommend calling Altair Travel and Cruises and taking a trip to the moon for the next couple of months, because you are going to be inundated with soccer news, soccer conversation, roving bands of fans carrying people down the street in soccer jerseys. Jim Ryan, ABC News, let the World Cup begin, right?
Well, yeah, and St. Louis isn't even one of the sites. I think the closest you'd have to go, maybe Kansas City.
It's Kansas City, but I think some of the teams are using St. Louis as a training site or something.
We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, for sure. In a World Cup, FIFA said that it received 500 million ticket requests during that initial lottery that happened in January. Considering that each person probably requested at least 2 tickets, that's 1 billion tickets. There aren't 1 billion seats out there for these games, these matches. So you can see how there would be this extremely hot resale market. FIFA says it is the only legitimate seller or reseller of tickets, but StubHub says, wait a minute, we're selling tickets here. We're a reseller. There are others out there as well, the legitimate and well-known sites that say, yeah, we've got resale tickets that we're selling too. But you just got to be very careful about this because the Federal Trade Commission, McGraw, says that plenty of scammers are out there willing to take advantage of FIFA frenzy.
Yeah, I could only imagine the people who are printing fake tickets and everything else. So what's FIFA saying? Only go to FIFA, but all the other legitimate sites are saying, don't worry about it. We got your back.
Yeah, and it's so how do you know? I don't know. I mean, if you want to be absolutely sure, then you could go to FIFA.com or FIFA.org. Or anyway, go to FIFA, they say, and to get your legitimate tickets. But, here's the other thing. You bring up a good point there. People printing tickets or creating the barcodes. So let's say you buy tickets from somebody and they say, okay, great, we're going to email you the barcode. You show that at the gate. Boom, you're in. Or, send us the money. We'll send you the tickets in the mail and you'll have them. You're good to go. Those are fake. That barcode is fake. That ticket is fake because they haven't even been created yet. FIFA has not yet created the legitimate tickets and barcodes, and they won't for another couple of months.
I would think the tickets is just the beginning of the scams. Fake travel packages, fake hotel sites, fake airlines, fake passports, fake visas. I mean, I think the list would go on and on.
Well, you're right. Yeah. I mean, there are people willing to do that, not just to sell fraudulent tickets, but to set up a whole website and sell travel packages and airfares and hotels and ticket packages and all the rest, even restaurants, I bet, thrown in. And all of it being completely fake. Considering that the tickets for matches here in Dallas go for something like $3,000, $3,500. So let's say somebody is posting tickets for, hey, I get tickets for $300. Get them fast.
Right.
Well, that's probably going to be a fake too. Just the buyer beware kind of thing.
Don't these people know who are paying $3,500 for a ticket that it's on TV?
Well, yes, and most obviously, if you've got 500 or 500 million people who want tickets, most of those folks will be sitting at home and watching it.
Yeah. What about the amount of people who are going to be visiting the country? These visitors from out of the country. What type of numbers are they talking about? Do we have any idea?
Hundreds of thousands. Obviously it's a big deal here in this country, but it's a bigger deal in Europe and in Asia. So folks coming from those countries flowing into the United States. Yeah, that's they don't know what the numbers are, but you're going to have hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of people coming. And again, even as with the Super Bowl, a lot of people come to the venue knowing full well they can't get in, but they're going to have fun at the local sports bar or sitting out in the parking lot having a tailgate, knowing that they can't get in. So I suspect you'll see a lot of that going on as well, and flags from different countries on those rental cars.
Yeah, I would suspect that with all the immigration issues going on, that you and I are going to be talking at some point about some visa, immigration, overstay, some type of controversy. So I can only imagine that happening. Are you paying attention to what's going on in Foxborough, Massachusetts, and that controversy with the stadium?
No, what's going on there?
So the Foxborough officials will not give the keys to the stadium until the Patriots or FIFA pays the $7.8 million security fee. And they've only got a couple weeks left before this thing sort of blows up. But Foxborough, the town, saying we don't have the money to pay for the security for the games, so one of you guys have to cough it up, and the other two were looking at each other like, no, you got to pay, no, you got to pay. So as of now, they don't have Gillette Stadium secure for the World Cup.
They just figured it out.
Them.
Oh, did they?
They just came to an agreement. This report was from an hour ago.
Yeah. Oh, who's paying?
It just says the terms have been reached.
that means Robert Kraft or FIFA paid. All right. Interesting. All right, Jim Ryan, good stuff. Thanks for checking in. Have a good day.
See you, McGraw.
Okay, you betcha.
It doesn't, there's no blame or there's no responsibility taken by anyone. It just says terms have been a collective understanding.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
That's Robert Kraft.
And somebody had to Robert Kraft or FIFA had to sign up because Foxborough was saying we don't have the money. So
the town is not paying.
The town is that what it says?
The town is not paying.
Yeah. So somebody forked over the cash, Mo. I mean, we have all that Rams money. Do you know how close the New England Patriots were to coming to St. Louis?
Very.
You know, we should do a deep dive on that story because it's really quite fascinating how, and I want to say that Jerry Clinton, if memory serves me right, Jerry Clinton owned the New England Patriots for a day or two. Mm-hmm. And there was talk, I mean, serious, legitimate, that the Patriots were going to move and they were going to move to St. Louis. And then New England finally stepped up, or Foxborough stepped up to build a new stadium, and that then went away. And then it was the Stallions, and then of course it was, and then it was the Los Angeles Rams.
So it would have been in 1994 before the Rams came here.
Yeah.
The year before.
Yeah.
And they would have been the Stallions.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. So they were going to change the name from the Patriots to the Stallions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should get Randy on to do a little deep dive into all that because that's actually really interesting. And how the world would have changed, right? St. Louis would have had 6 or 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Tom Brady would have been, I mean, imagine Tom Brady in St. Louis and Giselle and a whole, I mean, imagine what would have happened if the Patriots would have ended up coming here to St. Louis. The whole world would nobody would hate the Patriots anymore. And Tom Brady would have had 6 Super Bowls with the Stallions. What a strange world that is. All right. 628 here, Big 550 KTRS. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, just get Stewart to do a cash-out refi to buy your Kobe corned beef. You could do that, but I would recommend doing a cash-out refi with Stewart and not spending all the cash on Kobe beef. But the point is this. You got the right idea. You're going to do your cash-out refi with Stewart. That's Stewart's American Mortgage. Why Stewart? Why has Stewart been the go-to and the number one mortgage banker and broker in St. Louis for, I don't know, 7, 8 years now, whatever it is? It's because he doesn't charge any fees. Think of fees as a sales tax. Would you go to a store that charges you sales tax, or would you go to a store that doesn't charge you sales tax? You tell me. I'd go to the store that doesn't charge me sales tax, and that's Stewart. Because the price, the interest, right? The price of the product, the interest is the same no matter where you go. But Stewart doesn't charge you any fees. How can he do it? Well, what he does is he keeps his overhead very and he has streamlined everything, and he's turned it into an assembly line. And so he's able to get you the lowest prices possible, and he just eats the rest, and then he turns around and sells it, and that's how he makes his money. Everybody else turns around and sells it. He just does it. He just doesn't charge any fees, right? He makes it up on volume. And he's been very successful because he's been able to buy homes, refinance homes with the bagel loan. Anything over $200,000, zip, nothing, nada, no fees. Call Stewart. He'll run the numbers for you, 314-324-4440. And when they go down again in 6 months, refinance again since it doesn't cost you anything. Stewart'sAMC.com. Captain Paul Kopsky. Talked to Tim Weiland yesterday, Captain Paul.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, do you talk to Tim Weiland at all much?
No, I've never met Tim Weiland.
Oh, is that right?
No, I never have.
Tim's good peeps, man. He's a good soul. He's a good egg. He's a very nice man, and so I miss him.
Do you think all the traffic guys just kind of have a club and
I thought they all slept together.
Tonight?
They all slept in the
talk about
in the traffic
the
house.
routes. Yeah, how you going to get here? All right, let me know.
Roger and Sue, they all hang out.
I thought it was like the Heisman House for Dr. Pepper. I thought it was a thing. I don't know. What do I know?
A fraternity.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. All right, Captain Paul. But if we wouldn't have lost Tim, we never would have found Paul. So there was bad, but there was good.
There's a trade out.
Every time God closes a door, he opens a window.
That's right.
Yeah. Captain Paul, take it away.
There's a crash on 70 West near the Musial Bridge with traffic jam back to the Arch. 370 West is running slow from 270 to 94 due to construction. And at 9 p.m. tonight, 5570 West will be reduced to 2 lanes between Exchange and Illinois 203 for road work, and those closures will last until noon on Saturday. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
33 degrees officially here at the Big 550 KTRS. And yesterday, man, it got cold. It got blustery after all those tornadoes touched down all over the place. High today of 56. Couple of clouds along the way. No real chance of rain today. Tonight, overnight, 46. Tomorrow, we're back into the 60s. Saturday, with all the parades around town, 67. No real chance of rain. Plenty of sun to warm up to 67 degrees. 33 right now at 6:33. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
Major storms whipped up tornadoes that killed at least 2 people in northwest Indiana and leveled buildings in Kankakee, Illinois. Several intense supercell thunderstorms moved across northern Illinois and northwestern Indiana on Tuesday, including one responsible for at least 4 tornadoes, according to the National Weather Service. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he is awaiting White House approval for a major drone production agreement proposed by Kiev last year. He said Thursday that the deal would cover various types of drones and air defenses to protect against swarms of Iranian-designed Shahed drones. In local headlines, St. Louis County Executive Sam Page is expected to announce a proposal this morning to consolidate various city and county services. The plan is being presented as a way to address ongoing budget challenges facing the county. And Governor J.B. Pritzker is joining a coalition of 19 governors across the U.S. urging congressional leaders to end President Trump's tariffs. The group made the request in a joint letter to congressional leadership. 33 degrees. Time now is 6:33. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Well, let's talk about the number 2 crew because it was raining, it was windy, you had to take the dog out, and oh my goodness, right? Isn't it easier sometimes to just call someone? That's where the number 2 crew comes in because the number 2 crew is a company that got started by the gentleman who started the Watering Ball. They're great small businessmen, great St. Louisans, and they love dogs. And so they started the number 2 crew, and the number 2 crew name says it all. They will come out to your house. Doesn't matter the size of your yard. Doesn't matter the size of your dog, if you get my drift. One low weekly payment and no long-term commitments. Well, as they're coming out to your house, they'll send you a text. We're coming in. Once they get in, they'll walk your yard in a grid, even your rock gardens and your flower beds, of course, protecting the flowers and everything else. And they'll double bag it. Put it in the garage, put it in the garbage, and then close the gate, send you a text, see you next week. That's the number 2 crew. Can't get any easier, can't get any simpler. And for people who have mobility issues, people who are busy at work, people who have apartment complexes or commercial buildings that need some help, if you will, the number 2 crew is a great service. 314-717-8880. 314-717-8880. Again, no long-term commitments, one low weekly price. They'll go up and clean up your yard and get things going in the right direction so you can go out and play and recapture your yard. no2crew.com.
Did you know you can borrow a telescope or a fishing pole from St. Louis County Library? It's true. St. Louis County Library's Library of Things is a unique collection of non-traditional library items, including musical instruments, GoPro cameras, binoculars, pickleball equipment, games, portable projectors, and more. It's perfect for a one-time project or to try an item before you buy it. Explore the collection and discover your next new thing to borrow. Learn more at slcl.org.
It's Julie Buck with a big congratulations to our friends at the Abbey. They have been around now for 12 years here in St. Louis. Everything you could possibly want for gifts, for your home, furnishings that you would not believe. Just an unbelievable spot just west of 141 on Manchester. And this Thursday through Sunday, you get 20% off to celebrate 12 years in business. Congratulations, ladies. You've done a fabulous job. It's the Abbey. You can find out more online, marketplace at theabbey.com.
I've been asked to say a word about Allen Roofing. That's not fair. I can't say it in a word. If they just did roofs, I probably could. I would say roofs. But they can do siding. They could replace it. They could put leaf guards on. They could reattach it like they had to do for me, where my gutter kind of came away from the house. Siding issues, they carry James Hardy, the very best. They can fix that too. Basically, if it's something you could see from the outside of your home or your office, they can fix it, improve it, or replace it. Look, it's probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make. Protect it. Absolutely. And nobody does it better than Allen Roofing. Check out all the reviews online. Everybody else seems to know. I shouldn't have to tell you these things. For all of your roofing needs and so much more, Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GRAVY25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Well, the snow is finally gone, at least for now, and warmer weather is coming soon. March into spring at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether you're out for breakfast on a warm spring day, searching for a place to go to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, or you're just getting tired of March Madness munchies and want some great homestyle food, the place to go any time of day or night is Gingham's Restaurant in St. Charles. It's your home away from home, 24 hours a day. Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant, 636-946-0266, or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Tune in Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Straight Talk on Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus for an intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
Have you ever been rickrolled?
Oh yeah.
that's
still
probably
do it.
That's probably the best thing that's ever happened in the internet.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty great.
still do it.
It's rickrolled is where you send a clip to somebody and you're like, oh hey, here's that link you asked me for, and you hit the link and all of a sudden Rick Ashley starts playing.
So great.
And you start busting a move to Rick Ashley. That's hilarious. 640 here, Big 550, KTRS. You know, I know we talked about it when it happened, but last night this Florissant police officer was sentenced to 2 years in federal prison for 20 misdemeanor civil rights charges. Here's what the guy did. He pulled over women, asked for their phone, went back to the car, looked through their phone, and any type of salacious or compromising photo of the woman, he then texted to himself and was stealing the photos off of these women's phones. To be honest with you, how was he caught?
I don't know. Did
some girl must have? Did he end up sending it to herself or something along the lines, or something where he hit the wrong button or something, and I think it said, might have said, oh, hey, you sent a picture to Bob Sally Smith or something, and she was like, who's this? She looked at her phone and she was like something like, oh, why did I
forgot to delete the fact.
Why did I send this? What number is 314 and what's going on? And that ultimately led to how he was caught. But he was sentenced to 2 years in prison, and I got to tell you, this is a gift that this guy got 2 years. This guy is a creepola, and I don't know if you can argue with does he deserve 2 or 5 or 10 or whatever, but what a creeper.
Well, he's a police officer too. Let's be honest. Like, I would say it should be a stronger sentence because he completely abused his position of power. Like, look at the huge deal they make when anybody is killed in line, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's hold them to the same. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and then imagine you get pulled over and the police officer says, give me your license and registration. Oh, and also give me your phone.
Yeah,
well,
that's
also,
right. I mean,
a lot of people's licenses are on their phone.
No, I understand it, but I mean, he said, give me your phone.
Right.
And he took their phone. Now, if a police officer says, give me your phone, you don't need to give them your phone.
You can say no.
Right. But how many people know that? How many people are like, oh, the police officer needs it. Here, take it.
And
what
a guy
do you
like
need?
that's preying on people that he figures aren't going to question it.
That's right.
He's a predator, so you're going to find the...
Right. He's preying on people who are friendly to police officers, and I messed up, and I'm going to do the right thing, and sure, you want my phone? Sure, here, I've got nothing to hide. Take my phone. So he takes their kindness and their
or their concern that they're going to be in trouble.
Right. Their respect of the job, right, is such that, sure, he's a police officer. He's asking me for my phone.
Yeah,
you give him the phone, right? And he takes that trust, as you say, and abuses it by stealing the photos. Man, what a creeper.
I mean, because that's different from just a boyfriend taking your phone and stealing your pic. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of the severity of he completely abused his position of power, which to me is 10 times worse.
It's like a teacher preying on a student.
Yeah, that's the priest. It's the high end. You've completely abused. Now you've completely torn apart.
Yeah.
And now no one's,
it's
that's
the coach. It's the coach taking advantage of the student. It's the teacher taking advantage of the student. It's the
and sullying the good name of the police department. No offense. If I was a cop, I would be hang. You know what I mean? This, whatever. But it's a bad look.
It's a great point, right? This is another. All right, the police officers don't need any more bad press, and this guy sort of soiled the reputation and soiled the badge because he was so disingenuous. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's just a creepy thing. Somebody who took advantage of their position and violated all these women in 100 different ways. So, I mean, it's just the other thing, too, is I can't believe so many women have so many photos of themselves on their phone. Well, I know that doesn't matter. It's their own phone. They can have any kind of pictures they want. I just never in a million years would have thought that women would have these types of photos on their phone.
Well, and also, he'll be out in 2 years. Will he be able to...
I can't imagine
be a police officer again? Will he have this mark on his... You know what I mean? Let's honestly get the details of what his record's going to look like after this.
I don't know, but there have been stories in the past where police officers have changed police departments and they don't do a background check, they don't do a whatever, and he ends up being a police officer somewhere else. Same with priests.
Horrifying.
Right? Oh, my goodness. He was caught here, and then you told him to go away, and lo and behold, he shows up over there. And so I don't know what happens to this guy in 10 years, but in the past, it has happened where people like this have gone on to go back to being a teacher, to being a professor, to being a doctor, to being a priest, to being a pastor, to whatever.
Would you think like a crime of this nature would,
raise up a red flag?
Yeah, well, you could never practice that, be in that career field again.
Yeah. 314, as a retired police officer, I agree with Rose. Here's another one, 618. Go, Rose, go. Totally correct.
Thank you.
314, he had the best criminal attorney money can buy in St. Louis, Scott Rosenblum, who stated the defendant found religion. Yeah.
That guy. Wow. He's like the
defense
attorney.
That guy's the
guy you want.
Everybody, in St. Louis, if somebody gets off like that, I can almost guarantee he has Rosenblum.
There was a famed defense attorney in town who has since passed away. And I said on the radio, if you're innocent, you can hire any attorney. But if you're guilty, this is who I'm hiring. And the defense attorney came up to me later and was like, don't say that on the radio. I go, why not? He goes, there are jury people who are listening. They might. They might. I was like, oh, I was trying to give you a compliment.
Yeah, right. Oops.
I was like, if you're innocent, anybody can get you off. But if you're guilty, I'm hiring that guy. 647 here at St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, there's a crash on 44 East before Madison downtown, blocking the two left lanes with traffic backed up to the Poplar Street Bridge. 370 West is running slow from 270 to 94 due to construction. And at 9 a.m. today, 5570 West will be reduced to 2 lanes between Exchange and Illinois 203 for road work, and those closures will last until noon on Saturday. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking a cool start to the morning with temperatures back towards the mid to lower 30s. Eventually this afternoon, mostly sunny skies looking to climb back towards the mid 50s. By Thursday night into Friday morning, could see some breezy winds up to 30 miles per hour. Eventually, Friday afternoon, temperatures back towards the lower 60s, partly sunny skies. Remaining dry through Saturday, a high of 63 degrees. Then into Sunday, could see some showers and even some thunderstorms, switching over to some light snow as we head towards the deeper overnight hours. From the First Alert Ford Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550. KTRS.
All right, Lordo's and Lordo's Diamonds is where you go. Earrings, necklaces, bracelets. Every time I go into Lordo's, now I don't know if this is true this year, but every time I've been in there, they always got some little Irish little shamrock or an Irish little something. And so I don't know if they always stock it, but if you're looking for a little Irish something, Lordo's could be a perfect place to go. But anything else, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, men's jewelry, men's watches, Rolexes, things like that, you betcha Lordo's has them. They also have one-of-a-kind engagement rings, custom work. Every time I'm there, somebody comes in and says, okay, look, Grandma gave me this, or this was my aunt's, and absolutely, they can do it. They'll take it in the back, and they'll work their magic. Clayton Road in Ladue. You know where that Truffles is? You know where that shopping center is right there? Right there is where you'll find Lordo's Diamonds. They learned it from their father, 70-plus years in the business. You're not going to buy a diamond on your phone. You're not going to buy it through Amazon, and you're certainly not going to buy it through Facebook Marketplace. You're going to go and get the good stuff. Lordo's Diamonds. They've been doing this, and they know how to do it right. That's why they're a family jeweler all these many years. Lordo's or lordosdiamonds.com.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Or go to robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
It's springtime, so make some spring cleaning and clear out some room for Dogtown. Dogtown Pizza, of course. Take those freezers and deep freezes and stock them full of Dogtown Pizza. With plenty of sports and warm weather action coming up, you'll want to make sure you always have an emergency pizza on hand. And with 12 different varieties, you're going to need to make plenty of room. Bacon, 4 meat, and the veggie. Clean out those freezers to make plenty of room for all the Dogtown varieties. And to see a full list, check out DogtownPizza.com.
The madness has arrived. Check out our bracket reveal special Monday night at 7, presented by Cantor Injury Law, Fisher & Fritchell, McKnight Place Senior Living, and Lordo's Diamonds. College basketball lives on the Big 550. KTRS.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
All right, 6:51 here, Big 550 KTRS. Brad Garrett joins us, and he is such a great resource for us when things like this happen. Brad Garrett, ABC News, Crime and Terrorism Analyst. Brad, first question for you. Department of Homeland Security's closed. They're not getting paid. However, does that hurt any of the responses or the security or anything else when it comes to the defense of our homeland because the government is closed?
Well, I only think to the extent that is it less people on duty that somebody else could get through on a flight? Yes, that's possible. I don't think, McGraw, that is the big concern. My sense is the following, that if you look at Iran historically, they've always used or tend to use proxies. In other words, other people like the Houthis in Yemen or Hezbollah in Lebanon, those type of things, or maybe even individuals here. My sense would be the following, that the biggest concern here are probably more lone actors. Now, there's been these statements about using drones that are weaponized to fly into, location X. Is that possible? Well, sure it is. It's possible. My sense would be if, in fact, that does happen, it's going to be individuals that do it, or maybe a small group, but people that are sort of independent of Iran, i.e. acting as a proxy for them. So that's a big concern, obviously.
Yeah. All right. Lone wolf, lone actors, people have been radicalized, people who are quote unquote sympathetic to Iran. But what about a strategic partnership, say, with the Mexican cartel and Iran? Well, I think, is that possible? I mean, there's been some, I don't have anything to corroborate this, but there's been some discussion that they have used criminal groups in the past to carry out attacks for them. Now, specifically to your point, McGraw, would the Mexican drug cartels, who obviously are big business, they deal in billions of dollars a year, and that's made because they're able to get drugs into this country, would they jeopardize our military and law enforcement coming after them big time if they launched a drone attack under the direction? Obviously, you'd have to pay them a lot to do this, to launch an attack on the U.S. I guess I'd be surprised again, because it's all about self-preservation for them. But again, I go back to, could you get lone actors? Let's face it, McGraw. I mean, you and I have had these conversations over years of one person killing a bunch of folks at a school, at a factory, whatever it might be, of the utter chaos that causes. So you really only need one person, or somebody maybe they've trained or had them trained as to how do you mount explosive to drones. There's plenty of teenagers in early 20s folks that know how to fly drones, and probably quite well. So from my perspective, that's the biggest day in and day out concern, and I'm sure it's the concern of law enforcement here. So lone wolf, lone actors, people who have been radicalized, they don't do it for money. They do it because for, other reasons that, are hard to comprehend. But what about Iran? If they're not going to go with the Mexican cartel, would pay other fringe groups to sort of rise up against homeland targets?
I think you cannot take that out of the equation. And the reason why is, in my view, Iran is now desperate.
that I think they knew in their own minds that we, the U.S., would come after them in a large fashion at some point, and now we have. Anytime you drive a country or even individuals they have nothing to lose by just pulling out the stops, I think that's where Iran is. And a desperate country can cause all sorts of chaos if they choose around the world. And I mean, just think of all the attacks you and I could talk about for the next 2 hours that have, occurred with Iraqi oil tankers. Fill in the blank of all of the attacks every day that they're doing at places far outside Iran.
Yeah, and with this, everyone talked about the new warfare, right? The next war will be fought by drones, and that's sort of exactly what we're seeing, isn't it?
There is no doubt. I mean, it's inexpensive. I mean, I think it's one of the survival factors for the war with the Russians, Ukraine, that they have become really the experts at building these armed drones. So yeah, it's not a pleasant thought, but it is a reality.
Brad Garrett, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst. Brad, thanks for your insight as always. Be safe. Thanks.
See you, McGraw.
6:57 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky is in the St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. An accident on 55 North at Carondelet is causing a stop and go back up to Union. We have a crash on 70 East at 141 with a stop and go jam back to the Blanchette Bridge. A crash on 44 East before Madison downtown has been cleared with traffic still backed up to the Poplar Street Bridge. And 370 West is running slow from 270 to 94 due to construction. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul, who does not live on Delore. Coming up today, temperature, weather-wise, we've got 56 degrees today with plenty of sunshine, a couple of clouds along the way, low of 46. Tomorrow, 61. Got to find a good fish fry tomorrow. We're taking requests on the text line, 84126. We need a good fish fry because the fish fry before St. Patrick's Day, that's a good one, right? You're in the thick of Lent, and there's some green beer will show up at some of these places. It's a whole lot of fun. All right, so tomorrow, high of 61, so that'll be good. And then Saturday, a lot of parades and activities and festivals going on. Saturday, high of 67 with partly cloudy skies. No rain anywhere in the forecast. Rain doesn't show up till Sunday. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Right now, 31 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. Yes, text your fish fry of choice to 84126. So far, I got to tell you, St. Stephen in the city has been my favorite. Now I've only been to what? 3? We've only had 3 of them. We're saving St. Gabriel for Good Friday because that's one of the few where they had. A lot of them don't have them on Good Friday.
No.
So St. Gabriel's got it on Good Friday, which is good. So we'll go down to South City for that one. Check in with Rose and Carl. But looking for a good fish fry for Friday. So hang tight. Now, let's talk Altair Travel and Cruises. There's some chatter on the family text line that a Millhaven travel trip might be in the future. Altair Travel and Cruises. The family gets together and has so much fun, and we invite all the KTRS listeners to come along with us. They've been some great, great trips. So for all of your travel needs, 314-968-9600. Heidi's going to Iceland. Mike Ward's going to the Danube. Wherever you want to go, let Altair Travel handle all the details. AltairTravel.com. 7 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston.
Iran continuing to strike shipping traffic and energy infrastructure across the Persian Gulf. At least 3 ships in the Strait of Hormuz struck by projectiles overnight. The vessels seen on fire this morning. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Tel Aviv.
As the U.S. and Israel step up their strikes against Iran, the regime there retaliating, warning that, quote, any vessel whose cargo or oil shipment is destined for the U.S., the Zionist regime, as they call it, or hostile partners, is going to be considered a legitimate target, telling the world to prepare for, quote, oil to reach $200 a barrel.
Right now, oil is trading at about $100 a barrel. As ABC's Rebecca Jarvis says, traders are closely watching everything that's happening.
What is especially rattling oil this morning and sent prices above $100 a barrel briefly in the global markets are those attacks on tankers. If the Strait of Hormuz stays effectively shut, analysts predict that we will see these prices continue to climb at the pump, and then that ripples through the economy.
President Trump responding by ordering a release of oil from America's strategic fuel supply. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has that.
The release of 172 million barrels from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve in conjunction with similar moves by allied countries is meant to bring gas prices down by adding additional supply to the market. 4 years ago, the Biden administration undertook the largest ever release from the U.S. Reserve, some 180 million barrels, and later determined it brought gas prices down as much as 40 cents a gallon. In just the past month, gas prices have come up more than 60 cents a gallon.
Edmund says it's seeing an uptick now in those researching EVs and hybrids. House lawmakers calling Jeffrey Epstein's former accountant to testify. Richard Kahn now serves as the executor of Epstein's estate. Another attempt at funding Homeland Security fails in the Senate. Democrats have proposed funding everything except immigration enforcement. Republicans say no. This is ABC News.
Traffic reports when you need them. This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Streaming live at KTRS.com.
Depend on it.
It's Julie Buck with a big congratulations to our friends at the Abbey. They have been around now for 12 years here in St. Louis. Everything you could possibly want for gifts, for your home, furnishings that you would not believe. Just an unbelievable spot just west of 141 on Manchester. And this Thursday through Sunday, you get 20% off to celebrate 12 years in business. Congratulations, ladies. You've done a fabulous job. It's the Abbey. You can find out more online, marketplace at theabbey.com.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty every Sunday afternoon at 1. Powered by Homestead Financial Mortgage on the Big 550 KTRS. The talk of St. Louis.
Hey St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. As a local small business owner for the past 24 years, I always do my best to shop local and support our community. Recently, 2 of the largest tree contractors in the region have sold to out-of-town investment groups. This means that the new owners of these companies are not invested in quality, customer satisfaction, or safety, except for how it affects their bottom line. Timberline Professional Tree Care was founded in 2001 and is focused solely on giving you, the customer, the safest, highest quality product while providing the best customer service before, during, and after the job. I've poured my heart and soul into tree care for the past 24 years, and we aren't going anywhere. When it comes time to take care of your trees, I ask that you shop local and call me, Ben Barnett, at Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or online at stltreecare.com.
33 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. A former Florissant police officer is facing 24 months in federal prison for searching women's cell phones for nude photos during traffic stops. That sentence was handed down yesterday to Julian Alcala. Prosecutors say Alcala took phones under the claim he needed insurance information, then searched for private images and photographed them with his own phone. A judge also ordered him to pay more than $2,600 in restitution. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley unveiled legislation to remove FDA approval of the abortion drug mifepristone. The Republican lawmaker from Missouri calls the drug dangerous, citing a study from a conservative think tank. Hawley also says the ability of doctors to prescribe the drug across state lines has led to rampant abuse and alleges that incidences of adverse health effects are far more common than the drugs maker Danco Laboratories has acknowledged. The Missouri House is expected to vote today on a proposed constitutional amendment that would create a path to eliminate the state's income tax. Supporters say the plan would let Missourians keep more of their money, while Democrats argue it would shift more of the tax burden onto low-income residents through higher sales taxes. Their proposal would still need approval from the Senate before it could go to voters. Missouri's current top income tax rate is 4.7%. St. Charles County is creating what will become its largest park. The story from KTRS's Sobe Bay.
The name will be Hengist Wetland Park and Education Center. It sits on 785 acres near the confluence of the Missouri and Mississippi rivers that used to be a private duck hunting club. It's a partnership between the Missouri Department of Conservation, St. Charles County, and the Great Rivers Habitat Alliance. The park will have an education center that will feature biking, hiking, and conservation areas, also a waterfowl museum, information center, and park offices. The Hengist Wetland Park will take about a year to design, followed by a year of construction. That puts the opening sometime in 2028. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News.
Ameren, Missouri will host a final public open house today to gather input on the proposed Eastern Missouri Grid Transformation Project. This project is designed to make the energy grid across the region more reliable and resilient. The open house will be held from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 5 to 7 p.m. at O'Fallon Park Rec Complex, YMCA, in North St. Louis. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Noel Flores, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 31 degrees. Time now is 7:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
What is Josh Hawley complaining about? It's to go call up Donald Trump. Just have the FDA take it off the market. I mean, it's his guy. It's his party. It's his guy. Stop complaining. You just pick up the phone. Call Trump and say, do this. What's he arguing over? 7:07 here, Big 550, KTRS. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, Sacred Heart Parish in Ellsbury, Missouri is a great fish fry. Ooh. Great small town feel, all you can eat, and all the desserts are homemade. Aren't most of the desserts at Fish Fries homemade?
Maybe. I don't know.
St. Mary Magdalene in Brentwood. St. Francis of Assisi on Telegraph Road. We are open on Good Friday also. Okay, good to know. Fish fry at Pizza Messina in Cottleville.
Piazza.
Is that how you say that? Piazza?
Yes.
I guess I can't play for Team Italy. That's the Irish pronunciation of it.
Yeah.
Take Emerson down to St. Cecilia. I love St. Cecilia's down in South City. We went and toured that one time, and the beautiful altar, those giant mosaics. It was a German parish back in the day, and they hired Irish tile workers to build the mosaic.
Wow.
And the Irish tile workers embedded Irish shamrocks all along the German mosaic. Now it's a big Latino parish, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they served margs and stuff. You get margaritas while you're waiting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's over there by St. Mary's down there. That way. Yeah. 7:08 here, Big 550 KTRS. All right, coming up this hour, what do we got? Stephen Portnoy is going to be joining us. President Trump making some whistle stops along the way. Ohio and Kentucky talking about the economy, all while gas prices have been rattled after all of the bombings in Iran. So they announced that they were going to release some strategic oil reserves. And I think worldwide they're going to release 400 million barrels. And in the United States, I think from the United States strategic reserves, they want to release 200 million barrels. So I did a little search. How many? What does that constitute? How long does 200 million barrels of oil? How long would that be used up here in the United States? And the United States uses 20 million barrels of oil a day. So if they release 200 million barrels, I'm not very good at math, especially live on the radio, that's 4 or 5 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 5 days. And worldwide, I believe they use 100, and I looked this up last night, and if memory serves me right, worldwide they use about 120 million barrels a day worldwide. So we use 20 million barrels. The world uses 120 with the United States. So 400 million, that'd last you a good 4 days.
Woo!
Right now, you wouldn't use it all at once, right? You would supplement it, so you wouldn't use it all up in the first 4 days, but you'd supplement it, put it onto the market to assuage the fears of the oil traders and everything else. But
now,
still,
is that refined or just?
Yeah, I don't know how that.
Because you still have to refine it.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know how that. I don't know if it's crude. I don't know. I'm not smart enough. But it's supposed to relieve some of the pressure. I'm sure it will. But if just you're releasing, I mean, that just shows you how much oil. 20 million barrels of oil a day we use in this country. That is right, and we're nowhere near running out. Also, somebody mentioned natural gas. We don't have the reserves in natural gas like we have, and there's been a lot of a disruption in the natural gas pipelines as well. So that's an issue in and of itself with the natural gas. So anyway, we're in a bit of a pickle here. See how it all turns out. 7:12 here, Big 550 KTRS. Stay right there. We're just getting started. We'll check in with Antonio French at 8:20. Let's talk retirement and Kevin Lloyd. Would you like to retire? Would you like to go and sit on the beach somewhere? Man, my sister's retired. She's quite annoying. You really have to. You really got to do something with your life after you retire. That's what Kevin Lloyd says, right? You have to retire to something. You can't just sit on the couch and watch the cable news channels all day. You'll rot your brain. You got to go do something. And Kevin Lloyd has noticed that over the years, his clients have become much more than clients, right? They become friends, and they spend the first couple of minutes in the meeting catching up and how are the grandkids and what are you doing and how are you enjoying life and all that type of stuff. It becomes a real sort of family atmosphere over there at Legacy Wealth Advisors. You notice that the minute you walk in. Why is that? It's because he demands that you meet with him 2-3 times a year. It doesn't always have to be in person. It can be on Zoom or a phone call, but you got to check in because you got to go over certain things when it comes to your retirement. And that's an important part of this because you constantly have to be planning. You constantly have to be adjusting the plan depending on whatever's going on in the world. That's just the way a smart financial planner does it. And he's, of course, looking at taxes and strategizing and talking to you and checking in and making sure everything's going all right and what do you need. And, yeah, that's part of it as well. So Legacy Wealth Advisors, your retirement specialist. That's what they do. They specialize in retirement. And we often joke he won't help me because I'm not ready to retire. And with a 5-year-old, it ain't going to be anytime soon. 314-641-1010. 314-641-1010. Or the website, whenretirementhappens.com. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, we've had a flurry of crashes early on this morning. There's a crash on 270 north at 44 with a backup to Gravois. An accident on 55 north at 141 has traffic jammed back to Richardson. A crash on 55 north at Carondelet is causing a stop and go back up to Union. We have a multi-car crash on 70 east at 141, blocking the 3 right lanes with the stop and go jam back to 94. A crash on 44 east before Madison has been cleared, but traffic is still backed up to 55 in the city. Traffic is jammed on the eastbound lanes of the Musial Bridge due to construction. 370 West is running slow from 270 to 94 due to construction. And this traffic report is brought to you by AAA Home Services. Call AAA Home Services, St. Louis's trusted home services repair team for 56 years for all your heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200, online at AAASTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, Captain Paul, did you mention the Blanchette Bridge going eastbound? That seems to be backed up pretty bad, too.
Yes, we have a crash on near the Blanchette Bridge. Let me check that one out. It's a multi-car crash on 70 East at 141, blocking the 3 right lanes, and the jam goes across the Blanchette Bridge to 94.
Yeah, so try and take the Boone Bridge south or that 370 bridge up north. Those seem to be much more smooth sailing to get over into St. Louis County. But that Blanchette Bridge looks like that's backed up past 94, so avoid that if you need heading eastbound on 70. All right, Captain Paul, thanks for checking in.
Thank you, McGraw.
You got it. 7:15. Let's check weather. Here's news alert. First alert, not news alert, not super duper double Doppler. News alert 4.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We're done for storms for a while. The next rain chance doesn't arrive till Sunday, so we're dry, turning mostly sunny for the morning. Low of 32. Chilly start, but near normal. And a near normal high in the afternoon, 55. Turning partly cloudy. Staying dry, a little bit windy Thursday night into Friday, but the wind's pumping the temperature up a little bit. A high of 62. Dry weather Friday and partly cloudy. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off, and if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis, at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
It's Julie Buck with a big congratulations to our friends at the Abbey. They have been around now for 12 years here in St. Louis. Everything you could possibly want for gifts, for your home, furnishings that you would not believe. Just an unbelievable spot just west of 141 on Manchester. And this Thursday through Sunday, you get 20% off to celebrate 12 years in business. Congratulations, ladies. You've done a fabulous job. It's the Abbey. You can find out more online, marketplace at theabbey.com.
Attention St. Louis sports enthusiasts. On March 24th, the Blues and Cardinals join forces for a night of STL sports fandom. It's Cardinals Night. Immerse yourself in the ultimate celebration of our city's passion for sports when the Blues take on the Washington Capitals in Enterprise Center. Theme night buyers will take home an exclusive Blues and Cardinals co-branded quarters in, perfect for showing your support for both teams. Get your tickets now at stlouisblues.com/promotions.
Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Heidi Glaus.
Is this Liza?
80 today.
You know,
This is the original.
yeah, from the movie New York, New
Yes,
York. Yeah.
with De Niro.
Yeah. So, with all due respect to Liza Minnelli, I know she's Hollywood royalty. But doesn't she look like the witch from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
I was going to say a Muppet.
Doesn't she look like the kidnapper from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Who is still so scary. I can't put that on for Emerson. That is so scary. It still scares me today. That creepy child napper. Oh, my goodness. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I haven't seen it.
Dick Van Dyke.
Pull up for her the kidnapper from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and it looks like Liza Minnelli's doppelganger.
Is it like her jet black hair or something? Is that a
Jet black
huge part
hair,
of it?
that sort of weird sort of sideburns that sort of stick to your head, and then they kind of curl up near your like cheekbone. You know that kind of look. Very, very bizarre.
The child catcher.
The kidnapper. Yeah,
It's
just,
a guy.
doesn't it kind of look like Liza Minnelli? Doesn't it? Doesn't it look like Liza Minnelli? Now,
Without the nose, not the nose. But.
so Liza Minnelli is out with a new book, believe it or not. And she tells the tale, and I didn't know this, when she was married to Jack Haley Jr. Did you know that Dorothy's daughter married the Tin Man's daughter?
Son.
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Jack
that.
Haley.
Yeah, Jack Haley was the Tin Man.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, it was supposed to be Buddy Epson, but he had an allergic reaction to the makeup, so
that's
he
right.
had to bow out. Jack Haley took the spot, and years later, Dorothy, right, has Liza Minnelli. Jack Haley is Jack Haley Jr. They end up marrying. I never knew that. That was right. I never knew that. Okay, so Liza Minnelli's out with a new book, and when she was married, according to her and her memoir, when she was married to Jack Haley Jr., she had a torrid affair with Martin Scorsese during the filming of New York, New York.
Whoa.
So torrid, according to her and according to this new memoir, so torrid and so dysfunctional that the two of them were, in her words, cocaine-infused love affair in which Martin Scorsese at the time, just as she proclaims, was a raging addict. And it couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything unless he was, and she was right there, right along with him.
Wow.
Did Marty respond to this yet?
Marty has not responded to this, and she says that they never really, finally that it broke off or whatever else, and she's glad he sort of turned his life around and kicked whatever habit. But she tells the story years later. They met at some Oscar party, and she went up to him and said hi, and he snubbed her and walked away and whatever else. But apparently that's during the filming of this film, New York, New York, which I believe bombed.
Yes, it did bomb.
Like 100 different ways. But the song New York, New York came out of it. And then somewhere along the line, Frank recorded it and sort of brought it to new heights. And I think the story of that song was like it was written in like 15 minutes. They needed a song for the movie, and these two people went into a room and just sort of wrote it down, and the rest is history. But yeah, Liza Minnelli.
And they used to play Frank's version when the Yankees won and Liza's version when the Yankees lost.
I did not know that.
And Liza put up a big stink about that. She's like, "Hey, I love New York as well."
Yeah. Yeah, what a bizarre story that is. I had no idea. All right, so there you go. There's that.
Happy birthday, Liza.
Happy birthday, Liza. She looks like she's 105. Does she not look like
she does look
the kidnapper from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Did she have like a stroke or something at some point? Or,
I don't know. She's had like 9 lives, this woman.
Yeah.
And then the latest is she's like in a wheelchair.
Well, she disputes that too because the Oscars had her come out with Lady Gaga pushing her in a wheelchair to announce Best Picture. And she said she was ready to walk, but they couldn't insure her to be on stage because they was afraid she was going to fall and collapse. And she's like, I'm fine. She's one of those people, the show must go on. So she sat in the wheelchair and she did it.
God love her. From the 314, she was never as talented as she thought she was. I would agree with that. I didn't get the Liza Minnelli talent
she's
tree.
His daughter.
God love her. I get it, but she's no Judy Garland, that's for sure. Hey, McGraw, thank you for giving me my... I don't know how to take this one. Listen to this one. McGraw, thank you for giving me my sleep black at night. I play the radio instead of having TV lights flashing in my room, but because of Rich Valdez, I quit listening to the radio. I can now listen to you and not have the TV on, and it has improved my sleep. So thank you. So she falls asleep listening to me on the radio.
Interesting. So how would you? What's your initial
compliment?
It's an honest, because I was going to say, like, as a massage therapist, some people will fall asleep during the session, and I used to be like, well, you know what I mean? And then I was like, actually, it might be one of the biggest compliments, that they feel that comfortable and relaxed, that they, and safe with you, that they can fall asleep.
Yeah.
Especially since so many people have trouble falling asleep.
Yeah, I guess. I
Remember
guess.
we talked to, not that you do true crime, but that people will fall asleep to, Keith Morrison or Bill Curtis, like true crime like they're just people's voices, right? Like you start paying attention, but you eventually,
Right.
It's just so soothing that.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole idea of the show, kind of, is, you're not throwing tomatoes at each other and you're not screaming and yelling at each other. You're just having a nice conversation about whatever. And yeah, you fall asleep, you're in and out, it's your bedtime buddy. Yeah. That's how I fell in love with radio, was, listening to the radio at night, falling asleep to the ball game or
there you go.
whatever else. Yeah, no, that's
The ultimate compliment.
So it's a compliment.
Sure, I guess so. I was just teasing. We have to give a shout out to Jack Lane of Stages. Jack Lane, a longtime guest of the show, received his first Olivier nominations.
Ooh, Olivier Awards.
Listen to this. He won a couple of them for Best Revival of a Musical for Evita. Don't Cry for Me, Jack Lane. Best Revival of a Musical for Evita, as well as the producers. So there you go. Stages founder Jack Lane notches his first Olivier nominations. Well, right now, he's in London because The Karate Kid, the musical, is marching its way towards Broadway.
Which debuted here.
Which debuted at Stages a year or so ago. Time escapes me. Its world premiere at Stages in 2022. It's now playing to sold-out houses with critical acclaim. Jack, of course, one of the producers. And so they're getting it on in London and soon to be coming to a Broadway theater near you. So Jack needs a bigger closet. He's got a whole bunch of Tonys, and now looks like he's up for a couple of Olivier nominations.
And they brought in Thomas Wilson, Biff, from the movie for opening night at Karate Kid. No, wait, that was for Back to the Future. They brought somebody in from...
Elizabeth Shue?
I don't know. No. They brought somebody in.
Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, who cares?
If it's not Elizabeth Shue, then it doesn't matter.
Or William Zabka. Then
Maybe
I would go.
Maybe that's who.
What?
Maybe it was William
Seriously?
Zabka. Yes.
Don't toy with me.
I thought for the longest time was a Van Patten.
I could. Yeah, fair enough. That's not that much of a stretch. Oh, William Zabka.
Really?
Oh.
That's the
whole reason I watched the reboot.
How I Met Your Mother.
There's a theory out there online that Ralph Macchio was the jerk.
Yep.
Yeah.
And William Zabka, the guy, was sort of the innocent bystander.
They did a whole episode of How I Met Your Mother about that. And Ralph Macchio was there, but William Zabka was also there because Barney thinks that William Zabka's the hero of the movie.
He is the hero.
Yeah. Hey, stay away from my girlfriend. And this guy comes in and he steals the guy's girlfriend.
And then beats him up.
Yeah, and then beats him up.
He's so great.
I mean, if you watch Cobra Kai, that's kind of the story.
I remember. My sister Erin. We were at the house, whatever, and I've had $2 or $3. I was like, hey, go down and get a couple movies at the movie theater. But your choice, right? Big brother. I think I was a senior in high school or something, junior in high school. Go down to the Blockbuster, and go get a couple movies, and we'll watch some movies. Like, okay, great. She comes back with The Goonies and Karate Kid, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. The Goonies and the Karate Kid, and we watched those 2 movies. They were the 2 of the best movies made in the 80s.
Had you not seen those before?
I hadn't seen them. No.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Had she seen those before?
I think she had seen The Goonies. She was like, no, they're really good. I was like, no, The Goonies, really? All right, well, let's put it in. And at the end, I was like, come on.
Goonies forever.
One-Eye Willie, come on. Yeah, One-Eye Willie's a nice guy.
Oh, man. Goonies never say die.
Yeah. 731 here, Big 550, KTRS. So congrats to our hometown hero, Jack Lane. We'll get him on here when he stops hobnobbing with the Goober Snoobers in London. Captain Paul Kopsky, busy morning in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
It is busy, McGraw, and right now an accident on 55 North at 141 has traffic jammed back to Richardson. A crash on 55 North at Carondelet is off on the shoulder, but causing a slowdown back to Union. We have a multi-car crash on 70 East at 141 with 3 lanes now open and a stop-and-go jam back to 94 in St. Charles. 270 North is heavy between Gravois and 44. Traffic is jammed in the eastbound lanes of the Musial Bridge due to road work. And 370 West is running slow from St. Louis Mills to near 141 due to construction. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
31 degrees right now, and we're headed for a high of 56. No rain in the forecast. Plenty of sunshine, couple of clouds. Overnight tonight, 46. Tomorrow, 61. And then Saturday, the official, unofficial St. Patrick's Day party, 67 with a couple of clouds, but plenty of sunshine. 31 right now, 7:32. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
At least 50 people have died and 125 others are missing after landslides hit 3 districts in southern Ethiopia. This follows a week of heavy rainfall. The Trump administration is opening a new trade investigation into manufacturing in foreign countries. It's an effort that comes after the Supreme Court struck down President Donald Trump's previous use of tariffs. In local headlines, 2 North St. Louis libraries damaged by the May 16th tornadoes will reopen in the coming months. Library officials say the Julia Davis and Cabinet branches will reopen in late May. A report released by Missouri State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick finds the Missouri Department of Conservation is well managed overall, but needs to make improvements to increase its level of transparency. The audit gives the department a good rating while also making recommendations to improve certain controls and procedures the department has in place. 33 degrees. Time now is 7:33. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right, let's give the Country Club Car Wash text of the day out right now. This texter will receive a free Country Club Car Wash from any one of the 5 Country Club Car Wash locations, all attached to Mobile on the Run. From the 314, I agree with the texter about listening at night. Best move ever. Oh, yeah. How about that? I got to tell you, just a quick note about the nighttime show. Not going to lie, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing it. It's fun, and so I thank you for the nice feedback. It is fun. It's a little stressful on the schedule now and then, but not going to lie, it's really a lot of fun. So thanks for checking in. 7:34 here, Big 550 KTRS. Reese Nichols, buying a home, selling a home. Reese Nichols is a real estate company that has been in St. Louis for years. We just didn't know it because they were under a different name. Didn't make any sense. And so Reese Nichols is very well respected and trusted in the Kansas City side. So they decided to just put the company under one name. Kind of makes sense. So Reese Nichols is now, you're starting to see the signs and the logos around town. But don't be fooled. They've been here a long time. They just changed the name. The same trusted agents, same great resources for you all at Reese Nichols. Now, buying or selling, we know it's very difficult these days in terms of the real estate market. And you need an expert who knows about buying and selling and everything else. Reese Nichols, big supporter of local Ronald McDonald House. Excuse me. Every single transaction, agents give a portion of the proceeds to the Ronald McDonald House. So when you use Reese Nichols, you know you're helping out the Ronald McDonald House as well. So that's another added incentive to make sure you keep it local. ReeseNichols.com. For years and years and years, 45 years in the St. Louis market, 125 years here in Missouri. Reese Nichols or ReeseNichols.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Did you wake up this morning with no heat? Blankets and space heaters are a great short-term solution, but why settle for those when you can receive fast, reliable furnace repair from Viviano? We've helped thousands of customers across the Metro East stay cozy and comfortable all season long. And our expert team is ready to help you do the same this winter. For emergency service, you can count on Viviano Heating and Air at VivianoAir.com. That's VivianoAir.com. Train, the most reliable name in heating and cooling around. It's hard to stop a
Get
train.
your season tickets now for the 2026 Stages St. Louis. The 2026 season is kicked off with the always hilarious 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Then take a trip back to the 40s and 50s with Guys and Dolls. Stages will wrap up this year with the incredible true story of Come From Away. Call today to reserve your groups, individual or season tickets. 314-821-2407. Or visit them online at stagesSTLouis.org. That's stagesSTLouis.org.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemaristudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemaristudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Hey, it's Heidi Glaus, and I want to remind you to tune in to the Heidi Glaus Show with Bob Ramsey and Josh Gilbert weekdays from 3 to 6. You don't want to miss all the fun. Plus, twice a month, we're joined by Dr. Ravi Johar, the Chief Medical Officer for United Healthcare. Dr. Johar and United Healthcare will keep us informed and educated about everything happening in the healthcare system, plus important facts to keep us healthy. United Healthcare and the Heidi Glaus Show on the Big 550 KTRS.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
What is this?
Lou Reed and Velvet Underground.
740 here, Big 550, KTRS. Stephen Portnoy not joining us. His segment's already over. Can't find Steve Portnoy. He's snubbed us. No. Well, something obviously was happening.
Mad at you.
He's not mad at me. Let's text line 636. One has to wonder, is the nighttime gig being set up as the next phase of your career? Waking up as early as you have for as long as you have has to get old. You know what? Good question. I do not mind getting up early. Rose and I were talking about this the other day.
Crazy.
When you have a nighttime show or an afternoon show, you wake up in the morning and you worry about that show all day long. And so you're constantly, what are you going to talk about when in the morning show? You wake up and you don't have time to worry. You just gotta do it. So your mindset is I don't mind getting up early at all, because on Saturdays when you wake up at you sleep in and you get it's 9 o'clock. You're like, oh man, I got to get out of bed. That's the same feeling you have at 4:30 when you have to get out of bed. So it's once you're out of bed, you're fine, right? It's right. It's once you're out of bed and you're into the shower, then it's fine. Gosh. It's that initial getting up.
Oh, man.
It's that initial getting up, whether it's 4:30 in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
It's that, I got to get out of bed. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are a couple mornings where you'd, like to hit the snooze button and turn, throw the alarm clock against the wall and sleep in. But it's once you're in the shower, it's fine. And then you're done for the day, and then you can relax and sort of start planning the next day.
But that's kind of what sells it for the getting up because you're like, okay, I go to work and then I'm done. You know what I mean? Like you're done early, and then you can go back to sleep, or like at least that's what I keep telling myself.
You can go and plan tomorrow's show without stressing, because you've got to. It's just for me. It's just the mornings clicked, but the nighttime radio is. We've got some really good producers, and obviously we have great cast of characters here. But the nighttime show, we got some really, really good producers who really know what they're doing, and we're working really well together. So a lot of that stress has been taken off my shoulders, so we can sort of collaborate throughout the day and whatever else. And so it's working for now. There is no master plan when it comes to radio.
Nope.
That's not the plan. Is that somebody keeps paying me? That's
stay
the plan.
Employed.
Yeah, stay employed. That's the plan. Is Bill Cleveland still on your nighttime show on Thursdays? Yes, Bill Cleveland is on the show tonight on Thursdays, and it's getting some great attraction. Here's another one. I figured since I was one of the biggest complainers about the nighttime show with the other Yahoo on there, that you deserve to hear the show has done a complete 360 and is appreciated. Oh, okay, good. Thanks.
Wouldn't a 360 be the exact same show?
Yeah, a 180, right? Yeah. I do that too. I've done a complete turnaround. I've done a 360. No, you've done a 180. Yeah.
Speaking of great producers, Mr. Portnoy is going to be on in the next segment with us.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
The world's worst producer.
Dan Strauss.
We need Dan Strauss around here somewhere.
Oh, man.
No, the Bill Cleveland, I've told this story before, and I told this to Frank Opinion for years, that if I ever went to another market, I would have stolen half of Frank's act. That's all there was to it. It was good. And so Bill Cleveland, when he was on doing Frank's show at the end with the travel segment, that was a great segment. And so when I got this gig, I called up Bill and I said, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Doing my travel thing." I said, "Why don't you come on and talk travel?" And we pushed him to a different time last week for whatever reason, and people in like New York were getting angry with me. Where's your travel guy? Where's Bill? So. Bill's getting a little love all over the country, so it's kind of nice. And he told me that he originally met me back at the old folks station when he was in high school, and he called up John Carney and asked John Carney if I could come and shadow you for a night. And so Carney was like, "Yeah, sure." So this high school kid hung out with John Carney, like to sort of see how radio's done. And that was Bill Cleveland, and he grew up to be on radio, and he's a good guy. Anyway, it's a fun segment every Thursday. All right, 7:44 here, Big 550 KTRS. Save some time for Stephen Portnoy, who's going to be talking to us about Donald Trump outselling the economy. We'll get into that with Stephen Portnoy in just a minute. Quick check of traffic. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, an accident on 55 North at 141 has been cleared, but residual congestion extends back to Imperial, Maine. There's an accident on 364 East at Bennington with the stop and go back up to the Veterans Memorial Bridge. A crash on 55 North at Carondelet is off on the shoulder, but causing a slowdown back to Union. We have a crash on 70 East at 141, now blocking the right lane only with a stop-and-go jam back to 94. 70 West is reduced to one lane at 7th Street downtown for road work. That's causing a slowdown back to the Poplar Street Bridge. And 370 West is running slow from St. Louis Mills to near 141 due to construction. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking a cool start to the morning with temperatures back towards the mid to lower 30s. Eventually this afternoon, mostly sunny skies looking to climb back towards the mid 50s. By Thursday night into Friday morning, could see some breezy winds up to 30 miles per hour. Eventually, Friday afternoon, temperatures back towards the lower 60s, partly sunny skies. Remaining dry through Saturday, a high of 63 degrees. Then into Sunday, could see some showers and even some thunderstorms, switching over to some light snow as we head towards the deeper overnight hours. From the First Alert Ford Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550. KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, love the nighttime show. Thank you very much. We have fun putting it on. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, Carolyn Stolzer. That's the team at BeckElderLaw.com. I've told this story before. Parents are getting older. They're transitioning to some type of home care, some type of nursing home or something. And you got to worry about who's paying, how you're paying, make sure the money's there. You got money wrapped up in the house. They got a couple of stocks, a couple of this. They're not loaded, but they've made, right? They got a little bit of money after saving all these many years. How are you going to protect it? How are you going to pass it on to the next generation? And how are you going to do it so that everyone's still talking to each other when it's all said and done? Look, Rudy Beck can handle all of those things. Jay and Carolyn, too. They're the well-respected team of Beck Elder Law. My problem was I just didn't know where to go. And then I found Rudy and a godsend. So, look, you want to protect your assets from the grandparents to you, to me, to the next generation. And so you want to set it up, whether it's a trust or financial planning or all the assets and everything else, right? It's a big convoluted mess. That's why Rudy Beck will untangle it and make sure it's done, and it's done right. 50-plus years in Illinois, in Missouri, north, south, east, and west. Beck Elder Law. Their offices are in right off Highway 70 in St. Charles, centrally located. 636-946-7899. Call them and get this off your mind so you can go and enjoy the rest of your life and put this behind you and make sure it's wrapped up and all buttoned up. 636-946-7899 or BeckElderLaw.com.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Spring is in the air, my favorite time of the year. I'm buying and selling, of course, cars and motorcycles daily. I like to buy a few cars a day at this time of year, and I like to buy them directly from the owner. We carry only hand-selected vehicles, and I like to meet the people they come from. It's as much a people business as it is a car business. If you're in the St. Louis metro area, I'll even come to your house to purchase your vehicle, especially if you have more than one to sell or even an entire collection. We're always on the hunt for super clean, rare, and unique vehicles. I'll even buy everyday cars if they have low miles and are exceptionally clean. Hop on my site, MasterCarsInc.com, and submit what you've got to sell. We buy, sell, and trade every single day.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
It's Julie Buck with a big congratulations to our friends at the Abbey. They have been around now for 12 years here in St. Louis. Everything you could possibly want for gifts, for your home, furnishings that you would not believe. Just an unbelievable spot just west of 141 on Manchester. And this Thursday through Sunday, you get 20% off to celebrate 12 years in business. Congratulations, ladies. You've done a fabulous job. It's the Abbey. You can find out more online, marketplace at theabbey.com.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
Gilmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Gilmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, ABC News correspondent Stephen Portnoy. Donald Trump, Stephen Portnoy, going out on the road to try and sell his message on the economy. What happened?
Well, the president yesterday went to the Cincinnati area and made two stops, one at a sort of a drug manufacturing facility and another at a logistics plant. And he talked about a wide variety of issues. I mean, it wasn't just about the economy. It was about the war with Iran. It was about politics and the need for voters in Kentucky's 4th Congressional District to oust Thomas Massie, that thorn in the president's side, who wrote the Epstein Files Transparency Act and has sponsored multiple war powers resolutions. The president says that man has to go and should be replaced by his main primary challenger, a former Navy SEAL. All of that said, the president also told reporters that the war in Iran is an excursion that will keep us out of a war. He said in his remarks at Hebron, Kentucky, that we've already won it, pointing to the decimation of Iran's Air Force and Navy. But Americans woke up this morning to really chilling pictures of oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz and in the nearby waters lit ablaze. And that's why oil prices again earlier today touched $100 a barrel. The president last night announced that he would be tapping 172 million barrels from America's Strategic Petroleum Reserve, a move undertaken in conjunction with similar moves by allied countries. It's meant to bring gas prices down by adding additional supply to the market. How much of an impact will it have? That's a good question. I'm glad I asked. 4 years ago, at the start of the Ukraine war, Joe Biden undertook the largest ever reduction from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, 180 million barrels of oil, also undertaken in conjunction with allied countries. It later determined that move brought gas prices down about 40 cents a gallon. In just the past month, since the start of the Iran war, gas prices have gone up more than 60 cents a gallon. And the Iranians are talking about trying to make it a $200 a barrel oil market. That would be twice the current price. Their objective is to squeeze Americans where it hurts most in their wallets. And that is something that the administration is focused on. This morning, the Energy Secretary said in an interview that the Navy may be positioned to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz. But right now, that hasn't happened. There are reports that the Navy and the Pentagon has rejected requests to do that so far because, as the Energy Secretary put it this morning, they're focused on offensive operations. Right now, they're going after the Iranian Navy first. And if they can do that successfully and be done with that mission, then maybe they'll consider helping civilian tankers through the strait. But these projectiles which are hitting these ships are still coming from Iran and not necessarily from ships at sea. And so the question is, what help might an American Navy presence do? I mean, will that just expose the American Navy to potential risk of incoming attacks from the sky?
Yeah, that's an interesting play because you would have American servicemen protecting foreign oil ships on the way to China. That would be a weird, right, circle to square to have American troops protecting foreign oil on their way to China.
Right, because it's a really good point. While 1/5 of the world's oil supply runs through the Strait of Hormuz, that's really not for us in the main. Because we have a strong enough domestic supply. The reason why prices are going up is because it's a global marketplace. And as there are these pressures on the oil that transits through the strait, that raises the price for everybody, even if we get our oil here at home.
Yeah, and it's not just oil, it's natural gas is going up, and those reserves don't handle natural gas. When President Trump was talking, and even though the war is won, we're still bombing and everything else, did he give any indication as to how much longer this would go?
Not in any way that you could take it to the bank, I think. I think the president has said that he reserves the right to decide, and it may not take as long as some thought. He had said 4 to 5 weeks. We're now about 2 weeks in. He says it's operating ahead of schedule, whatever that schedule was. He looks at the leadership. The Israelis have different objectives when it comes to regime change than the American government has signaled its objectives are. And so I guess it's day by day. Yesterday, my ABC News colleague Aaron Katersky and others reported that the Iranians were focused on a plot to get drones to America's west coast, and that warning went out to law enforcement in California from the FBI. The president was asked about that last night. He said it's under investigation, and we'll just take things as they come. Well, I suppose that's, generally speaking, the posture of the president to all things. We'll take them as they come. So to answer your question, McGraw, I have no idea.
Yeah, the other scary thing is, well, we'll leave it there. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Good stuff. Thanks for checking in.
You bet.
You got it. The other scary thing is Donald Trump decides the war's over with, but Iran does not. Right? He said one of the things he said was an unconditional surrender. Okay, an unconditional surrender is when Iran says mercy. If Iran doesn't say mercy, then you can't stop fighting until Iran says mercy. Well, Hamas hasn't said mercy in Gaza, right? Hezbollah has been, right? They've been reduced to rubble. They killed their own people. They tortured their own people. They right? I mean, what they did in Gaza was nothing short of, they leveled the country, and they still haven't said mercy. So when you say there's going to be an unconditional surrender, then you keep fighting till they quit. And if he decides we're done, we've bombed everything there is to bomb, we win, and you take your bombs and go home, Iran says, well, we're still going to be fighting you, right? I'm not trying to be a nudge here. I'm trying to sort of gameplay all this out. So it's a dangerous game, and that's the gamble the man took. So we'll wait and see what happens. 7:58 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, there's an accident on 364 East at Bennington with the stop and go back up to Arena Parkway. 70 East is still slow from 94 past the Blanchette Bridge after an earlier crash. 270 North is heavy between 44 and Doherty Ferry. There's an accident on 70 West at 44 and the Musial Bridge. 70 West is reduced to one lane at 7th Street downtown, causing a slowdown back to the Poplar Street Bridge. That's for road work. And 370 West is running slow from St. Louis Mills to near 141 due to construction. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Whoa, breaking news. That looks like there's actually sun that's out there. Look at that. Yes, the sun does exist. It will be out. Plenty of sunshine. A couple of clouds in the afternoon. High today of 56. Overnight tonight, 46, the low. Tomorrow, high of 61. And then on Saturday, we've got a high of 67. Plenty of sunshine for the official, unofficial St. Patrick's Day party that happens all around town on Saturday. Coming up next hour, we'll check in with Frank Cusimano, and we got to check in with Antonio French. Dennis Hancock, St. Louis County Council, wants to be your next St. Louis County executive. He's going to join us in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll talk to him about his election, his run, as well as that new tax proposal that they want St. Louis County voters to vote on. That's all coming up. 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
If you're thinking about it, we're talking about it. This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Streaming live at KTRS.com.
Depend on it.
ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Iran has been attacking vessels in the Strait of Hormuz and today hit a major oil facility in the region. That, as President Trump declares during a rally in Kentucky of the war that began nearly 2 weeks ago.
We've won. Let me tell you, we've won. You know, you never like to say too early you won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over.
ABC Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell is in Tel Aviv.
The Interior Minister of Bahrain saying Iran's targeting fuel tanks in the country after several refineries were hit in recent days. A Thai cargo ship seen in flames, thick smoke pouring out. 3 crew members reported missing. Iran saying it carried out 2 of the strikes, saying the ship's captains ignored their warnings not to pass through.
At least 6 ships have been targeted in the past 24 hours. As Energy Secretary Chris Wright tells CNBC, the U.S. Navy's not ready to escort tankers through the Strait of Hormuz yet, says that could happen by the end of the month. Oil has been trading at more than $100 a barrel. The price of gas also going up, says ABC's Rebecca Jarvis.
This is the 12th straight day we have now seen prices at pumps across the country rise overnight, up another 2 cents. The national average now $3.61. You look at the price of gasoline since the war with Iran began, and it is now up 67 cents.
ABC's Rebecca Jarvis. The war has also led to more fears about attacks here at home. ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky with more.
The FBI recently alerted California police departments Iran aspires to conduct a surprise attack against unspecified targets in California using drones. The alert, reviewed by ABC News, says the drones would come from an unidentified vessel off the coast of the United States homeland.
Security stepped up for the Academy Awards this weekend because of that. You're listening to ABC News.
You can feel the Clydesdales circling the field. Hear the stands come alive. Smell the hot dogs, the popcorn, and cold beer in the air. See the crowd rise as the first pitch hits the glove. And just like that, a new season begins. The countdown is on until opening day, and tickets start at just $49. Don't miss St. Louis's favorite holiday. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/opening day.
This season, step up to the ultimate game day experience with Cardinals all-inclusive tickets. Enjoy a full buffet, complimentary bar, and unbeatable views inside Busch Stadium. It's great food with great company for every pitch, hit, and home run. Choose your experience in the Budweiser 703 Club, UMB Champions Club, Proficient Red Jacket Club, and more. See the game like a VIP with all-inclusive tickets. On sale now at cardinals.com/tickets.
The madness has arrived. To check out our bracket reveal special Monday night at 7. Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri, Woods Basement Systems, Lisi Lumber Company, and T.R. Hughes Homes. College basketball lives on the Big 550.
34 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now. A former Northwoods police officer has been convicted on charges related to the assault of a handcuffed man in 2023. Yesterday, a jury delivered a guilty verdict to 28-year-old Samuel Davis of 1 count of deprivation of rights under color of law, 1 count of witness tampering by way of misleading conduct for making a misleading statement to a police dispatcher, and 1 count of falsifying records in a federal investigation for turning off his body-worn camera. Prosecutors allege Davis and Michael Hill took Charles Garman to a field in Kinloch on the night of July 4th of 2023 and severely beat him. Meanwhile, Hill was acquitted on all charges. The plan to end state income tax in Missouri is moving forward. Details from KTRS's Sobe Bay.
Republican Governor Mike Kehoe's attempt to eliminate Missouri's individual income tax is advancing towards final passage. A proposed constitutional amendment that would launch the phase-out was given preliminary approval by the full House on an 85-48 vote after nearly 3 hours of debate. House Joint Resolution 173 is set for a final vote in the Missouri House later this week before lawmakers head home for a 1-week spring break. It then goes to the Republican majority Senate. If approved, it would give lawmakers a green light to use sales tax to begin lowering the 4.7% individual income tax rate if certain revenue triggers are met. Corporate income taxes imposed on businesses would not be affected. Sobe Bay, KTRS News.
An Illinois bill aimed at increasing access to life-saving mental health resources and strengthen suicide prevention efforts across the state is moving forward. Senate Bill 2771 passed a Senate committee yesterday. The measure would require numerous public buildings across Illinois to visibly post contact information for the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, ensuring residents know immediate help is available. The legislation would also expand comprehensive health education for students in grades 6 through 12 by integrating evidence-based suicide prevention curriculum, as well as strengthen reentry support by requiring the Illinois Department of Corrections to provide suicide prevention resources to individuals preparing for release. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page is expected to announce a proposal this morning to consolidate various city and county services. The plan is being presented as a way to address ongoing budget challenges facing the county. And a luxury St. Louis area car dealership group is under new ownership. Atlanta-based Asbury Automotive Group sold 6 Plaza Motor dealerships and a collision center to Mile One Auto Group. The business is acquired by Mile One Auto Group, are Mercedes-Benz of Creve Coeur, Mercedes-Benz of Chesterfield, BMW of Creve Coeur, Land Rover St. Louis and Creve Coeur, which also includes Jaguar St. Louis, certified pre-owned and service, Audi, Creve, Infiniti of Creve Coeur, and Plaza Motors Collision Center in Maryland Heights. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, a place for all your floral needs. You can place your order anytime at WKF.com. 34 degrees. Time now is 8:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right. It is Antonio French joins us in just a couple minutes. And then we've got Frank Cusimano. The tournament brackets are getting real close. This is a great weekend for a lot of people. You got the tournament brackets coming out on Sunday. You got SLU headed to the A-10. You got Mizzou headed to the SEC. And Major League Baseball, we can't get to the opening day here soon enough. Plus, in hour number, in 9 o'clock hour, we've got Dennis Hancock. Hey, little programming note. I'm taking off tomorrow. Donuts with Dad.
Good job, Dad.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes, but it's
Worth
not.
it.
It's not.
Can't you do both? Can't you
It's not. It's not the 15 minutes. It's what happens in that 15 minutes that matters.
That you're there.
That's right. You're there.
You should broadcast live. You should do a hit. We should call
No.
Ooh,
bad idea.
it.
No.
Yeah. So
no.
how's it looking over there at
No. And you know
Donuts
what?
with Dad?
Here's the thing. When you're a dad at one of these things and the other dads are there, you're kind of like, you give the head nod. What's up?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? You know, the girls are like, oh, hi. Oh, hi, I'm Jane. Oh, hi, I'm Sally. Nice to meet you. The guys are like, what's up? What's up? How you doing?
When can we get out of here?
Hey, how you doing? What's up? What's up? Guys have that. Guys just put that sort of wall up. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I've now seen you 17 times at these school functions. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I don't know your first name.
Hey, how you doing?
I just know that you're Emerson's dad.
There is one guy who grows a beard in like 7 minutes. One time I see him, he's got a beard like, ZZ Top. The next time he doesn't have a beard, and I'm like, I didn't recognize you because last time I saw you had a beard. He's like, yeah. Next time I see him, he doesn't have a beard.
Do you know what table you're sitting at? Do you have your table assignments yet?
No, I think it's open seating.
Oh.
It's open seating, and it's really just a donut.
A donut.
Yeah, it's really not, they don't.
It's not Donuts with Dad. It's Donut with Dad.
It's really just but she gets to say, sit with her friends and do the deal. And, look, you're going to blink your eyes and she's going to be going off to college, and you're going to blink your eyes and you're going to be dropping her off at the convent. So, at least enjoy this while you have it. So there you go. Hey, do you know KTRS is turning 30 years old?
I've heard that.
Yeah, we're throwing a big party in whenever we're throwing it in May. Yeah, and the station's going all out, man. It's gonna be a scene, man. It's gonna be a party.
Is there gonna be Kobe beef?
I don't know if there's gonna be Kobe beef. It's so bougie of management to do that.
Will there be Overweiss chocolate milk served?
There will be milk delivered. Yes. But can we give a shout out to KTRS Radio for just a second? I've been here since 2005, I guess. 2004, 2005. And outside of a 3-month vacation That's 20-something years, man. You blink your eyes, you've been in place 20-something years. But it got started, the story goes, is that Tim Dorsey was the number 2 man at the old folk station, and back in, 1996, right, since we're celebrating our 30th anniversary, he went to some investors and said, in 1996, said, hey, St. Louis is losing its local voice and corporate radio is coming in and we're losing the fabric of St. Louis. And so a prominent group of St. Louisans, you name it, they were involved. The John Goodmans of the world, the Ozzie Smiths of the world, the Emos of the world, the LHMs of the world. The list was, just long. I believe some charter executives were involved with it as well. And so they put the money up and bought the Signal 550 ultimately and started off KTRS Radio. And the idea was to be local from the very beginning. And look, every company goes through good years and bad years and mistakes and wish we would have and should have done it better and everything else. But for 30 years, they've been live and local. And in those 30 years, radio and the world has changed numerous times. And even as a program director, I've gone in there a couple of times and have said, hey, this is a decent syndicated program. And they said, nope, we're local. And so you do not hear of that in radio around the country. People call me and call us on a monthly basis from the big corporations and say, how are you guys doing this? It doesn't make any sense. How can you be local and live and have hosts and co-hosts and producers and a newsroom and salespeople? And how are you making this survive in this day and age? So it's a testament to everybody here and a testament to the advertisers, a testament to the listeners who respond, the advertisers who support us, the management who supports us. It's not always easy, and it's not always fun, and sometimes, good days are better than others, just like every business, but it is 30 years in a landscape like we've seen over the last 30 years for this radio station to not only survive, but to thrive. Many people, many friends in the industry say to me, your station, your job, your station is the best place to work in the country. Now, that sounds insane because it's crazy around here. Don't get me wrong, it's crazy. But if this is the sanest radio station in America, I can only imagine what corporate radio is like. And people who come and work from corporate radio and come here, they're like, oh, my goodness, we can't believe how, right? You came from corporate radio.
I did.
Rose, you came from corporate radio. I was in corporate radio for the first half of my career. It's a very different atmosphere. It's a very different philosophy.
We don't have an intercom system here. People just yell out names and people answer. Hey, Josh.
That's one of the reasons. Yeah. But anyway, so 30 years, and they're putting together a big party for us. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun, and it's pretty special to be able to do what we do. So we thank you. And 30 years, right? We hope another 30 years strong because no one gave this thing 6 months. And 30 years later, they've met every payroll. They've met every crisis. They've met everything along the way, good times and bad times. And so it's a testament to the small business atmosphere, the people who run it. And, oh, by the way, after that nice plug, can I get a raise? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. 8:14 here, Big 550 KTRS. Someday I'll tell you about the traffic story because we lost Tim. We didn't want to lose Tim at all. That was not our choice. He was taken from us. And we went out and found a good one, Captain Paul Kopsky. But another chapter in the book with Captain Paul. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
All right, thank you very much, McGraw. And there's a crash on 44 East underneath the Poplar Street Bridge with only one lane getting through and a backup to near 55. An accident on 364 East past 141 has been cleared, but the residual congestion extends back west of the Missouri River. 70 East is busy from Zumbel to the Blanchette Bridge. 270 North is heavy between 44 and Doherty Ferry, and 370 West is running slow from St. Louis Mills to near 141 due to construction. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We're done for storms for a while. The next rain chance doesn't arrive till Sunday, so we're dry, turning mostly sunny for the morning. Low of 32. Chilly start, but near normal. And a near normal high in the afternoon, 55. Turning partly cloudy. Staying dry, a little bit windy Thursday night into Friday, but the wind's pumping the temperature up a little bit. A high of 62. Dry weather Friday and partly cloudy. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Here's a great small company for you. Gelmish & Sons, small business going strong. Gelmish & Sons, even though it's a small business, don't think they can't handle a big job, because Gelmish & Sons can handle big jobs and small jobs and everything else. For 76 years, Gelmish & Sons has been leading the way. They're the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners, and they'll fix any make and any model, but they'll install a new Lennox system, air conditioner, and a furnace. 76 years they've been going strong. And it's not just the name Gelmish. It's the other people who work there as well. You know, Larry Thornton from the window store, he has a brother who's worked at Gelmish & Sons, I think, for 30 years, right? He's part of the Thornton family, but he is most certainly part of the Gelmish family. And so that's what you get when you call Gelmish. You get that St. Louis family, right? The St. Louis family taking care of St. Louis families. That's the way they like it at Gelmish & Sons. Reasonably priced. The hedge funds come in and jack up the prices at Gelmish & Sons. No. It's an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. 314-993-1110 or GelmishAndSons.com.
If you recently bought an electric vehicle and expect to add that to your taxes, make sure to check your purchase date.
The federal EV tax credit is no longer available in 2026. That was eliminated in September of last year. As long as you purchase your vehicle, though, before September 30th of 2025, you can still file for it for 2025 taxes.
Investopedia editor-in-chief Caleb Silver says some states will offer their own EV rebates or tax credits. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Are you ready for tax season? Don't let the tax changes passed in the Big Beautiful Bill Act catch you off guard. Hi, I'm Jeff Azufal, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours, and my soon-to-be-released book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill. Since 1976, Capital Advisory Group has been saving our clients money year after year. Give us a call at 636-394-5524 or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly with nationwide 5G because Cricket is on the AT&T network. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Mark Lawson here, owner of Black Fox Cooper. We're an Anderson certified contractor. That means every window we install meets Anderson's exacting standards for quality, performance, and durability, and our installation is guaranteed for 2 years, in addition to the 20-year warranty on the glass. In many cases, we can upgrade your existing Anderson windows with new energy-efficient glass at a cost far less than replacing the whole window. Financing is available. Call 314-270-1484 for a free consultation and estimate, or online at blackfoxcooper.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Hardcastle, host of Money Talk. Join me and all of our Money Talkers for our June 2027 French Riviera Money Talk vacation. 9 days, unpack one time, balmy beaches, coastal resorts, chic boutiques, captivating museums, and much more. And if you book early, under $5,000 for brochure and information, call our Delta office, 636-532-0484. The French Riviera, I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Are you on track to meet your retirement goals? Midwest Money can help. We provide listeners with the tools they need to make informed financial decisions. Tune in every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. to Big 550 KTRS.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Eight 20 here, KTRS St. Louis. Antonio French joins us. St. Louis Post-Dispatch reporter, small businessman himself, reform politician. Good morning, Antonio French.
Hey, good morning.
So Sam Page is on his way out, announced he's not running for re-election, still in the throes of that Catherine Hanaway investigation into the Flyer Gate, if you will. But he's holding a news conference today after he's been in office all these many years. And apparently he's expected to announce today a proposal that would merge some of the St. Louis County services and merge them with St. Louis City city services as a way to save money. What's going on with this story?
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, as a politician is getting near the end of their term and not seeking re-election, all of a sudden they grow a sense of courage here to start proposing bold ideas on the way out the door. That probably would have been unpopular if they were seeking re-election. Listen, the city and the county, this idea of merging the city and the county completely, or at the very least, splitting the cost of some of the services that we offer so we don't have so much duplication. Yeah, these have been ideas that have been floating around for a long time. Usually when they come, I think they, politically, they fall flat after a while because I think they often are asking for too much at one time. So this idea of maybe let's slowly see where we can both save some costs and merge some city services, some things that the county does better than the city, some things the city does better than the county. To me, it's common sense. It makes good sense, especially from the taxpayer perspective. But whether or not the timing of it, is going to actually, produce results, I don't think so. I mean, on the way out the door, he's clearly a lame duck. It would be interesting to see if this press conference was a joint press conference between him and the St. Louis City mayor. But if it's just him by itself, I think it even has less weight. But, these are good ideas. It is curious why it took so long for him to propose them.
Yeah, that was my first question was, where is Kara Spencer in all this? Because it sure is nice to merge services with the city, but you got to have the city who wants to merge services with you.
That's right. You got to have two to play, play this game. And it should be a conversation between the city leaders and the county leaders. And I think, if we are looking to do this long term, I think for the sake of the voters, for the sake of people feeling comfortable with it, it should not be something that is just like, let's just make St. Louis City an additional municipality in St. Louis County. That is always going to fall flat. You're going to get so much resistance on both sides. But if slowly we can figure out, where can we save some money here? Where can we give taxpayers the most for their dollar? Then I think those things make sense. And then as people kind of see how this works and they become less afraid that they're going to lose complete political power or going to be, the stepchild of a massive county government, I think that is probably the way that this is going to happen eventually.
I mean, look, anyone who looks at this with any objectivity is laughs at how dysfunctional our regional government is. But let's say you take some low-hanging fruit like the health department. Does the St. Louis City and the St. Louis County both need their own health departments? I don't think so. You probably could combine it and do just as good a job or just as bad a job. But there are going to be some people somewhere who think this is the end of the apocalypse if we somehow merge the health departments. Remember a couple years ago, was it unincorporated St. Louis County that wanted to change garbage services or garbage companies or something, and it was like a 3-year fight because people went to the mat because they didn't want to change their garbage man. And what people worry about is the strangest things in the world.
Oh yeah, and that's the reality of it. So when these proposals come, like the previous attempt, which was the Better Together proposal, which would have just been a merger that would, eliminate so many different services. That sometimes is too much to process because, every little change you're going to get some resistance from. And so when you try to do a big change like that, they always fall flat. That's just political reality of St. Louis and St. Louis region. This isn't a place that's known for accepting change like that. But, if you can propose a minor change, you're going to get some resistance. We're probably not enough to stop it. Let's see how it works. Okay, look at that. We didn't die. Okay, let's see if we can do another one. And I think that is going to be the way it's going to have to happen. And it's going to have to be done with cooperation between the St. Louis City Mayor and the St. Louis County Executive. But again, with the county executive, on his way out, being a lame duck, already having so much hostility with his own county council, he may not be the one to do it. But it is a conversation that should be had. I don't know if he's the person to do it, though. Yeah,
but, he's on his way out, so he's going to push this. The people who are on the way in, right, they're the ones who have to get elected. So they're going to, scream and yell, this is the worst thing in the world. We don't need to do this. But ultimately, one of the reasons why I think Sam Page is sort of either coming around to this or waiting to the end or whatever else, there are massive budget deficits in St. Louis County. And so they might not have any choice but to sort of seek partners and merging some of these services because the money just isn't there.
Yeah, and the political reality and economic reality is the same in the city too. Especially with this situation with the police department right now, demanding this huge budget increase that may force the city to cut other city services. St. Louis City and St. Louis County, both facing population declines. Increase of just the poor population needing services more than they're paying in taxes. The reality is that this region has to start cooperating if we're going to survive. And if we continue to compete against each other and be played against each other by companies and developers looking for tax breaks, et cetera, taxpayers are just going to continue to get screwed, and the quality of life in these areas is going to continue to go down, and people are going to move away. So we got to change.
Yeah, I still never quite understood why people were so angry that they were changing garbage men and garbage services. That one was always a weird one for me, but God love you. All right. Antonio French, have yourself a good weekend. Are you doing anything fun for St. Patrick's Day?
No, I have no St. Patrick's Day, but I guess I'll find some green beer somewhere.
There you go. Everyone's a little Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Antonio French, have yourself a good day. We'll talk to you next Tuesday. Thanks, man.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You got it. I mean, he's French, right? he's not Irish. He's French.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Right.
Right.
So the French can celebrate the Irish. There's nothing wrong. The French and the Irish have always gotten along.
Always.
Yeah. There's no animosity there. 8:28 here at Big 550 KTRS. Frank Cusimano right around the corner. We'll check in with him. Captain Paul Kopsky, take it away.
McGraw, a stalled vehicle on 70 East at Lucas and Hunt is blocking the right lane and causing a stop-and-go jam back to Florissant Road. There's a crash on 370 East before 94. Emergency vehicles are on 70 West at Cary, blocking the right lane. 70 East is busy from Zumbel to the Blanchette Bridge. 270 North is heavy between Gravois and 64. 64 East bogs down from 170 to Big Bend. 64 West crowded from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker. And 370 West is running slow from St. Louis Mills to near 141 due to construction. This traffic report is brought to you by AAA Home Services. Call AAA Home Services, St. Louis's trusted home services repair team for 56 years for all your heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200, online at AAASTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, my dad would say, quote, the only people who love change are hobos. Yeah, that's a good one. Listen to this. Hey, McGraw, thanks for making me feel old. I've been listening to KTRS from the beginning when it was Wendy and Bill. Can't remember the name in the morning. Frank opinion. on the drive home and weekend mornings. Now that I'm retired, listening all day. Congratulations, KTRS. Here's another one. Whatever happened to Tim Weiland? Is he still around? Oh, he's dead to us. Tim Weiland was, real quick, Tim Weiland, we quote-unquote contracted out with a company, and Tim Weiland was their employee even though he was here. And he was here for, I don't know, 20 years, something. Longer than that, whatever it was. And they decided to take that employee back and no longer provide the services for us. So we then had to go out and create our own traffic department. And actually, it turned out better for us. We make more money having our own traffic department than we had when Tim Weiland, when we had the service. So he brought the service in-house, if you will, and made more money on it. And it's been great for everybody. So we can sort of control, I don't mean that in a negative way, but we can control the traffic better, if you will, and the news better, and how we present it, and all those other things, because it's ours. And that's been a boon for us. So we missed Tim Weiland. We didn't want him to go. It wasn't our decision, but we turned we turned lemon into lemonade, as they say in the business. All right, it's 8:31. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
The price of Brent crude oil, the international standard, spiked back over $100 as Iranian strikes hit ships and the American-Israeli war with Iran showed no signs of slowing. Today's major developments include Iran's attacks against commercial ships around the Strait of Hormuz and Iraq's port of Basra, escalating its defense strategy of pressuring the U.S. by squeezing the oil-rich Gulf region to threaten global economic stability. Newly released surveillance video appears to show a man buying a fuse at a fireworks store days before authorities say he and another man brought homemade bombs to a protest outside the New York City mayor's residence. Amir Balat visited a Phantom fireworks store near his suburban Philadelphia home on March 2nd and purchased 20 feet of consumer fireworks safety fuse. In local headlines, the National Weather Service confirms that 2 EF1 tornadoes hit southern Illinois early yesterday morning. The first was in Morrow and the other hit Lenzburg and St. Libory. Governor J.B. Pritzker is joining a coalition of 19 governors across the U.S., urging congressional leaders to end President Trump's tariffs. The group made the request in a joint letter to congressional leadership. 32 degrees. Time now is 8:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Baldy Electric, B-A-L-D-I, Baldy, B-A-L-D-I, electric.com is the website. Jill Farmer, sorry, I outed her. Jill Farmer tells a great story. She calls Baldy Electric. He comes out, and her husband is running around like the new best friend. While you're here, can you help me with this? While you're here, can you help me with that one? Look, once you call Michael Baldy for one job in the house, while he's there, I bet you've got 4 or 5 other jobs you'd like him to take care of while he's there. That's why everybody needs electrician on speed dial, because you don't realize how beneficial it was. Everybody wishes they had an electrician in the family, but you can't all have an uncle in the electrician world. But you can get Michael Baldy, who's the second best thing. 314-968-9999. Friendly, conversational, customer service, you betcha. Indoor, outdoor, putting a whole home generator in. You need a backup for the sump pump. You need to get some wiring for some new electronics. Yeah, Michael Baldy can do it all. Commercial buildings, yeah. He can do big jobs and he can do small jobs. He's Michael Baldy, and you need him on speed dial, 314-968-9999. So for all of your electrical needs, including the ones you'll never call until he's in the house, and then while you're here, can you do this for me? BaldyElectric.com.
Attention St. Louis sports enthusiasts. On March 24th, the Blues and Cardinals join forces for a night of STL sports fandom. It's Cardinals Night. Immerse yourself in the ultimate celebration of our city's passion for sports when the Blues take on the Washington Capitals and Enterprise Center. Theme night buyers will take home an exclusive Blues and Cardinals co-branded quarter zip, perfect for showing your support for both teams. Get your tickets now at stlouisblues.com/promotions.
Hi, I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I want your fixer-upper home. It's crazy to spend a ton of money fixing it up when I will pay you top dollar right now. I don't even care what condition it's in. Your trash is my treasure. No inspections, no contingencies, just cold, hard cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's Mike Robinson, 314-283-0867, or at robangproperties.com.
It's Julie Buck with a big congratulations to our friends at the Abbey. They have been around now for 12 years here in St. Louis. Everything you could possibly want for gifts, for your home, furnishings that you would not believe. Just an unbelievable spot just west of 141 on Manchester. And this Thursday through Sunday, you get 20% off to celebrate 12 years in business. Congratulations, ladies. You've done a fabulous job. It's the Abbey. You can find out more online, marketplace at theabbey.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I'm inviting you to join me October 23rd as we journey in search of Iceland's magical northern lights with Colette. We'll experience the land of fire and ice with a rare opportunity to search for the northern lights every single night with a tour guide. Our journey includes a day in the charming city of Reykjavik, checking out the steamy lava fields, massive glacier-sculpted mountains and valleys. We'll get unique views of beautiful waterfalls and walk along the black volcanic sand beach. And let's not forget, a relaxing dip in the Blue Lagoon. Colette handles all the deets, from flights and meals and hotels, even the local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life with me. You have until March 25th to sign up, so don't miss out. Join me. Call our friends at Altair Travel 314-968-9600 or go to ktrs.com to learn more.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS. It's now time for the Press Box with Frank Cusimano on the McGraw-Millhaven Show on the Big 550 KTRS. Powered by Walter Knoll Florist. We know flowers.
All right, 8:37 here, Big 550 KTRS. Frank Cusimano, that fine Irishman during St. Patrick's Day. Good morning, Frank.
Great to be with you, yes. Will the Italians dominate on St. Patty's Day?
Yes.
How about that?
First, let's talk about your Italian baseball team. Holy mackerel, what's going on with the Italian World Baseball Classic?
Well, it's unbelievable. Vinny Pasquantino, a first baseman for the Kansas City Royals, was hitless in the first three games, 0 for 12. And last night, a Reggie Jackson kind of performance with 3 swings, 3 home runs, and the Italians win. And most importantly, it puts Team USA into the Final Four because of that victory. To paraphrase Will Ferrell in the movie Kicking and Screaming, get the ball to the Italians.
Is the guy Italian, or does his name just end in a vowel, so therefore he's eligible to play for the Italian team?
Yeah, if you have like a grandfather or a great-grandfather that was born in Italy, you're eligible. He's an American. He plays for the Royals. It's a terrific player for the Royals, by the way. 32 home runs last year. But, yeah, he wasn't born in Italy, but we're going to claim him. And,
right.
you know, ironically, who's the manager for the Team USA?
DeRosa, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Italian. So an Italian helped out an Italian. Because McGraw, if they would have not gotten in, I mean, he would have been destroyed. He really was destroyed because the other day he played lesser players because he thought the team had already advanced to the semifinals. But luckily, because of Pasquantino in Italy, the United States has a chance to win it.
Yeah, speaking of that, how is Albert doing coaching the Dominican team?
You know, I don't know too much. I know that he takes it seriously for sure, and he wants to be a big league manager, and he's just kind of beefing up his resume by doing this every year.
Yeah, all right, good. Josh Schertz, not coach of the year. Is that for the A-10 or for the whole thing?
for the Atlantic 10. They gave it to the coach from St. Joe's, who took over mid-year when their coach left to join the Knicks, and they finished in third place. He did a fine job. But I got to tell you something, McGraw. St. Louis U is the team that is the number one seed. They are 27-4. They want to share the conference regular season title. And it's not like it's a roster loaded with 5 stars and was predicted to win the Atlantic 10 before the season. I think it's a joke. He should have won it. I texted him yesterday about it. He simply said, hey, the most important thing is that my players won all these great individual honors, including Robbie Avila winning the Player of the Year award.
All right, good. Missouri takes on Kentucky. That's going to be a tough one, no?
It will be. They got beat. They beat Kentucky at Rupp earlier in the season, and Kentucky just kind of folded down the stretch. This is what I think. McGraw, if they lose, I think they're playing in Dayton on Tuesday in the play-in game. If they win, they'll be in the regular field. So I have good vibes about the squad. They've stumbled a little bit down the stretch, but I think, if they shorten the bench and only play 7 and play their game, they got a good chance to beat Kentucky today.
All right. Also, Frank Cusimano, don't sleep on my Cardinals. They could be a sleeper this year. What do you think?
Well, by sleeper, I hope you mean that I think they can exceed that low win total predicted, like whether it's 69 or 70. I'll tell you, McGraw, in the Grapefruit League, they have pitched extremely well, including Dustin May yesterday, Libator almost every time. Kyle Lay, who's making the transformation from a reliever to starter, has looked really good too. So I like their starting pitching. The problem is this offense has been brutal. Walker hasn't hit. Gorman hasn't hit. Scott hasn't hit. Wynn hasn't hit. They have 2 guys that have hit really good in the spring, J.J. Weatherholt and Joshua Baez, who will not even play for the Cardinals, at least at the beginning of the season.
But however, isn't it usually pitchers are ahead of hitters early in the spring?
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. What did you say? I'm correct? Yeah, that's what I thought you said. Frank Gusi, who's the restaurant today, Frank? That's the most important thing.
We did not get one in today because we had to do it yesterday. We have a show that's going to only go an hour because of we'll be carrying the Missouri-Kentucky game. But we had the Clayton Missouri Athletic Club in. They had this world-renowned Michelin chef, and it was fun. The only problem is there was no food. So. Oh, well, that really doesn't count. I don't know why they were on the show then. Frank Cusimano, have a good, safe drive in. We'll see you at 10. Thanks, man. All right, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye.
You got it. Frank Cusimano here on the Big 550 KTRS. All right, I'm going to make a prediction. Here is my prediction. Friendly wager. No money. I'm not putting anything on FanDuel. Friendly prediction. The Cardinals will either make the playoffs or come within 3 games of the last playoff spot.
Is this going to be like your bet last year?
This was my bet last year that I think did I split with Zach?
You did. You pushed.
Because I said the Mets were not going to make the playoffs, and the Cardinals were going to have a better year than the year before.
Than the Mets.
Oh, was that what it was? Yeah, they were going to have a better year than the Mets. Oh yeah, I think I bet Connor that the Mets would not make the playoffs. I won that bet. I think the Cardinals are going to do a lot better than people think. They have like the rankings for the minor leagues came out, and they're like the 4th or 5th best minor league system in the league.
Oh, it was 20 years ago.
So I know minor leagues don't win championships, but these good players got to come from somewhere.
So you're saying that the Cardinals are going to end the year either in a playoff spot or 3 games out of one.
That is correct.
That is your final statement.
That is my prediction for the season.
So the second wild card spot, they have to be 3 games below that.
That is right. 3 games or less.
3 games back.
3 games or less.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
And if they do better than that, you win automatically.
That is correct, right. If they end up in a playoff spot or they end up winning the National League Central, I'm a winner.
Who's going to take? Anyone want to take that bet? Rose, you want to take that bet with
It's just a prediction. It's a prediction.
Wait, what's the original? What's the original prediction? Because you just said if he goes over it
No,
he still
I'm
wins.
just
Yeah,
saying
if the
that-
Cardinals get into the playoffs,
Oh, that's it.
He
You're
definitely
not.
wins.
You're leaving
I'm
it
a winner.
dangling
Yeah,
after
yeah.
that.
Or right, the worst they're going to be is, in my pretty humble opinion, 3 games out of the last playoff spot. Will you give me 5 games out of the last playoff spot?
Wait. If you're predicting they're going to be 3 games, then they have to be 3 games. They can't, then
Well,
your
yeah, or I
prediction
win or
is
lose.
null and void because if they're 2 games,
it means my prediction would be wrong.
exactly.
I'm going to say 5 games. Give me 5 games. Give me 5 games.
Working for a professional sports team, I make it a point not to bet on
There you
sports.
go. Give me 5. I'm not betting. That is just my prediction. I'm not betting, you gambling addicts. I'm just making a prediction that the Cardinals will be no worse than 5 games out of a playoff spot.
Rose,
How's
will
that?
you give him 5 games?
Fine.
All right,
A buck.
There you go. No, I don't want to bet. It's just my prediction. It's just a gentleman's agreement, bragging rights, whatever it may be. 8:45 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Take it away.
McGraw, westbound traffic on the Musial Bridge is jammed due to construction. 70 East is busy from Zumbel to the Blanchette Bridge. There's a stalled vehicle on 70 West at North Broadway in the right lane. 270 North is heavy between Gravois and 64. 64 East congested approaching Clarkson and from 170 to Big Bend. 64 East is crowded from Hampton to McCausland, and 370 West is running slow from St. Louis Mills to near 141 due to road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Stages St. Louis. Get your season tickets now for the 2026 Stages St. Louis. The 2026 season is kicked off with the always hilarious 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Then take a trip back to the 40s and 50s with Guys and Dolls. Stages will wrap up this year with the incredible true story of Come From Away. Call 314-821-2407 or visit stagesstlouis.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking a cool start to the morning with temperatures back towards the mid to lower 30s. Eventually this afternoon, mostly sunny skies looking to climb back towards the mid 50s. By Thursday night into Friday morning, could see some breezy winds up to 30 miles per hour. Eventually, Friday afternoon, temperatures back towards the lower 60s, partly sunny skies. Remaining dry through Saturday, a high of 63 degrees. Then into Sunday, could see some showers and even some thunderstorms, switching over to some light snow as we head towards the deeper overnight hours. From the First Alert Forward Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Rose from the Country Club Car Wash text line. What do you call a flower that runs on electricity? A flower that runs on electricity. A power plant. Here's one from the 314. McGraw, put the doobie down.
Why? Where is it?
Here's another one.
Because of his prediction.
I think someone needs to make a shirt for McGraw that reads, McGraw is 90% right 100% of the time.
I like it.
Piccadilly at Manhattan. Piccadilly.com is the website. You'll never run across it accidentally. The weather's great. Springtime's a great time to go to Piccadilly. So here's what I want you to do. Call up a friend, an old friend, haven't seen it in a while, maybe a brother, a sister, an aunt, and uncle, and say, hey, what are you doing? Let's make a plan to go to Piccadilly at Manhattan. Call up Piccadilly, make a reservation, and head over there because you're going to love it. The back patio's great. The weather's bursting with all this springtime activity. You can sit on the side or in the back or in that power table in the front with the round circle in the corner. You're always going to get great food. It's always packed. It's such a great place to go. Oldest restaurant in St. Louis. Piccadilly at Manhattan. Go to McCausland, and then you're going to want it right where those two streets, Piccadilly and Manhattan, merge. They're right there, Piccadilly at Manhattan in the Ellendale neighborhood. You're never going to run into it by accident, so you got to make a plan. Make a plan and have a day of it. Bring a friend. Piccadilly or Piccadilly.com.
I've been asked to say a word about Allen Roofing. That's not fair. I can't say it in a word. If they just did roofs, I probably could. I would say roofs. But they can do siding. They could replace it. They could put leaf guards on. They could reattach it like they had to do for me, where my gutter kind of came away from the house. Siding issues, they carry James Hardy, the very best. They can fix that too. Basically, if it's something you could see from the outside of your home or your office, they can fix it, improve it, or replace it. Look, it's probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make. Protect it. Absolutely. And nobody does it better than Allen Roofing. Check out all the reviews online. Everybody else seems to know. I shouldn't have to tell you these things. For all of your roofing needs and so much more, Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, agree on the Cardinals. Thank you very much. Don't sleep on my Cardinals. So last night on the evening show, I talked to this author, Chris Jennings, who wrote a book on Ruby Ridge called End of Days. Ruby Ridge was 34 years ago. I would have lost money real quick. Who was president during Ruby Ridge, and who was the attorney general when Ruby Ridge happened?
It was the 90s.
Had to be old Bush.
It was George Herbert Walker Bush, and the attorney general was William Barr.
Bill Barr.
Bill Barr, who was the attorney general for Donald Trump.
Who bears a striking resemblance to John Goodman.
He does. I would have bet money that it was Janet Reno, but it was.
It was before that.
Yeah, it was. I would have lost the house and the car and the college fund. I for sure was convinced it was Janet Reno, but it was Bill Barr. And if you could make an argument that Ruby Ridge sort of was the first, right? And then you get Waco, and then you have the Oklahoma City bombing and all that sort of survivalist,
off the grid,
anti-government conspiracy theory, anti-Jewish, but living a Jewish, more or less, basically living like the Torah back in the Old Testament. I mean, it's very, very bizarre, that sort of nationalistic, over the top sort of conspiracy theory, sort of off the grid world. But it was and I had forgotten a lot of this stuff. It first started because the guy, Randy Weaver, sold some guns to an undercover FBI agent, and they were doctored or illegal. So he gets charged with a crime. He doesn't show up to his court cases. So they send the U.S. Marshals to his house to bring him in for these charges. While they're at the house, they go in and they're not getting anywhere. And so they bring in a couple of more marshals to take him in. And they're hiding in the bushes, and the dog sees them. The dog runs to the marshals. The marshals shoot the dog. The kid at the time was out. So then the kid starts shooting at the marshals. The marshals then shoot the kid dead, and then you're off and running with the Ruby Ridge. Ultimately, the helicopters are brought in, right? More firepower and more firepower. They end up shooting the mother. So the mother, the son, and the dog die. Ultimately, 11 days later, the FBI negotiators get them all out of the house. Ultimately, he's charged. Randy Weaver is found not guilty of all the charges except for the original gun charge.
Well, were they surveilling him? Why were they surveilling him in the beginning?
They weren't surveilling him.
Why did he
got
so
caught?
He
selling
got
the
caught.
guns.
He was accused of selling illegal guns to an undercover FBI agent.
But I mean, the undercover FBI agent was on assignment with, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, why? What was he was already on their radar for some point, right? Because he wasn't he was
part of like an Aryan Nation sort of out there, and they were,
right.
They bought illegal guns from the guy, and so that was the charge. And they went to the house.
It was ATF
to sort of, because he wouldn't show up in court for these charges. So they then charge him. Jerry Spence is his defense attorney. He's found not guilty, and then ultimately they sue the remaining members of the family, sue the federal government, and the federal government, in a settlement out of court, assessing no liability, right? Pays them $3 million. And Randy Weaver just died not too long ago.
Really?
Yeah. He lived the rest of his life in somewhat obscurity, or at least going on random podcasts, talking about how he was, I think he said at the end of his life he was an atheist, which whatever that means. He goes from being a Christian nationalist
to not believing in God
to
at
being
all.
an atheist, but whatever, yeah. He has a couple of daughters who have survived, and really interesting. But Ruby Ridge, right? That was that sort of first anti-government fever, which then ultimately led to Waco.
When was Ted Kaczynski?
That was in that same,
right? Because he was a very off the grid, like right?
Yeah. But that was when, right? They published the papers, and then his brother turned him in.
That was.
It was right around that time, 90. 91, 92?
Bombings were between 78 and 95.
Yeah, but
so he got caught in 95.
95, okay. So yeah, but Ruby Ridge, man, that was but I would have lost money. I had no idea that Bill Barr was the Attorney General at the time. I would have been convinced that Janet Reno was the Attorney General.
I mean, it was when the trial was going on.
It was when the trial was going on. And Waco happened during the congressional hearings. So everyone's attention was sort of taken away from the hearings because Waco then exploded. And we all know what happened with Waco. And we know that, right, the Danforths and the Dowds were all part of that Waco investigation, and Ashcroft and everybody else. And so that was all part of that. But, yeah, no, Bill Barr came back and was the Attorney General during the Trump's first term, which just, you forget, man. That was 34 years ago, but that was really interesting. If you missed any of it, you can. We have it attached to the KTRS website.
Go to KTRS.com.
Yeah,
go to the America at Night page.
It was really, really good. All right, 8:58 here, Big 550 KTRS, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Good morning.
Good morning, McGraw. Westbound traffic on the Musial Bridge is jammed due to construction. A stalled vehicle on 70 West at Grand is causing a stop and go back up to 44 and the Musial Bridge. 270 North, heavy from 44 to Doherty Ferry. 64 East is congested around Clarkson and from McKnight to Big Bend. 64 West is crowded from Hampton to McCausland, and 370 West running slow from St. Louis Mills to near 141 due to construction. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Traffic reports when you need them. This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Streaming live at KTRS.com.
Depend on it.
Attention St. Louis sports enthusiasts. On March 24th, the Blues and Cardinals join forces for a night of STL sports fandom. It's Cardinals Night. Immerse yourself in the ultimate celebration of our city's passion for sports when the Blues take on the Washington Capitals in Enterprise Center. Theme night buyers will take home an exclusive Blues and Cardinals co-branded quarter zip, perfect for showing your support for both teams. Get your tickets now at stlouisblues.com/promotions.
Farmers and ranchers, when it's time to buy or sell ag equipment, think Purple Wave Auction. We're your go-to online marketplace for tractors, combines, sprayers, and more. With our no reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Experience the Purple Wave difference. Nationwide reach with a local touch. Purple Wave Auction. Whether you're expanding your operation or streamlining your fleet, we've got you covered. Visit purplewave.com today. Fuel your farm with Purple Wave Auction.
Traffic reports when you need them. This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Streaming live at ktrs.com.
Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Iran's new supreme leader has just issued his first statement from the foreign desk. Here's ABC's Guy Davies.
We've just had a statement from Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, for the first time. A newsreader on Iranian state media read out the statement. He spoke about his father, Ali Khamenei, who was killed on the first day of the war, and said the Strait of Hormuz, that critical shipping lane for 20% of the world's oil supply, will remain closed.
With oil topping $100 a barrel again, some have suggested the U.S. Navy escort those oil tankers through. Michael Singh is the former senior director for Middle East Affairs on the National Security Council.
It's very difficult without the missiles and drones that Iran is firing actually stopping, because we don't have enough Navy ships to escort all of those vessels, even in convoys. And even if we did, I think the U.S. Navy would say it's actually too dangerous to our Navy ships to conduct that mission.
Oil topping over $100 a barrel, and says ABC's Rebecca Jarvis.
One of the important things to note about the Strait of Hormuz is that it is also a place where fertilizer goes through. And so I'm hearing from farmers who say they are seeing their fertilizer costs go up just as the spring planting season is underway. That cost goes higher. You start to see it reflected in things like food, and you see it very quickly.
Gas prices up 60 cents a gallon since the war began. At least 750,000 people have been displaced across Lebanon, and now the Israeli military is sending a warning to people in a large swath of the country, saying they should also leave, that it will continue to act against Hamas. And the FBI is sending an alert out to authorities on the West Coast, warning of possible attacks in retaliation for the war. The alert, reviewed by ABC News, says drones would come from an unidentified vessel off the coast of the U.S. homeland. The Dow is down 616 points. You're listening to ABC News.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
37 degrees at 9:03. A former Florissant police officer is facing 24 months in federal prison for searching women's cell phones for nude photos during traffic stops. That sentence was handed down yesterday to Julian Alcala. Prosecutors say Alcala took phones under the claim he needed insurance information, then searched for private images and photographed them with his own phone. A judge also ordered him to pay more than $2,600 in restitution. Governor Mike Kehoe signed the fiscal year 2026 supplemental budget bill, HB 2014, that was passed by the General Assembly last week. The bill allows for current operations of state government to continue through fiscal year 2026. The supplemental budget bill includes funding for several high-priority areas, such as $180,000 for child physical abuse forensic examination claims, $3.7 million to provide high-quality specialized care for children and youth with intensive needs, and $10.4 million for employment services to assist individuals with physical or mental disabilities. A report released by Missouri State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick finds the Missouri Department of Conservation is well managed overall, but needs to make improvements to increase its level of transparency. The audit gives the department a good rating while also making recommendations to improve certain protocols and procedures that department has in place. St. Charles County is creating what will become its largest park. The story from KTRS's Sobe Bay.
The name will be Hengist Wetland Park and Education Center. It sits on 785 acres near the confluence of the Missouri and Mississippi rivers that used to be a private duck hunting club. It's a partnership between the Missouri Department of Conservation, St. Charles County, and the Great Rivers Habitat Alliance. The park will have an education center that will feature biking, hiking, and conservation areas, also a waterfowl museum, information center, and park offices. The Hengist Wetland Park will take about a year to design, followed by a year of construction. That puts the opening sometime in 2028. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News.
State Senator Erica Harris has introduced legislation aimed at strengthening research efforts to help fight childhood cancer and improve outcomes for young patients across Illinois. Senate Bill 3954 would create the Illinois Pediatric Cancer Fund, a special fund within the State Treasury Department dedicated to supporting research, prevention, and treatment efforts related to pediatric cancer. The fund would provide grants to physicians, hospitals, laboratories, universities, and other eligible organizations conducting research focused on childhood cancers. Illinois has launched a new program to help first-time homebuyers. The program offers up to $15,000 in down payment and closing cost assistance for eligible first-time homebuyers statewide. Eligibility is based on the borrower's credit profile, household income, and the purchase price of the home. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, a place for all your floral needs, and you can place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 right here on the Big 550. The Dow is down 550 points to 46,800. The S&P is down 67 points to 6,700. And the NASDAQ is down 291 points to 22,400. In KTRS Sports, the Blues begin a road and home back-to-back tonight in Carolina to take on the Hurricanes. The Note then turns around and comes back to play the Oilers at home on Friday. And Mizzou basketball will take on Kentucky today in the second round of the SEC tournament. Pre-game coverage begins at 11 a.m. here on the Big 550 KTRS. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Cuzza Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads, where we find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
Rose, there's a crash on 70 East before Zumbel. We have an accident on 94 West past Cedar Glen Drive in Weldon Spring. Westbound traffic on the Musial Bridge is jammed due to construction. 270 North is heavy from 44 to Doherty Ferry. 64 East congested from McKnight to Big Bend, and 64 West is crowded in front of Forest Park. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, sunny today with a high of 54. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 41. And tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 59. Currently 37 degrees at 9:07. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Selection Sunday is almost here, and with it, the NCAA Tournament. Check out our bracket release show Monday, March 16th at 7 o'clock. It's powered by Royal Banks of Missouri on your home for hoops, the Big 550.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today, and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Mom, what do you always say?
There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newsetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
It's Julie Buck with a big congratulations to our friends at the Abbey. They have been around now for 12 years here in St. Louis. Everything you could possibly want for gifts, for your home, furnishings that you would not believe. Just an unbelievable spot just west of 141 on Manchester. And this Thursday through Sunday, you get 20% off to celebrate 12 years in business. Congratulations, ladies. You've done a fabulous job. It's the Abbey. You can find out more online, marketplace at theabbey.com.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty.
First day on the market, we had multiple offers. They're definitely on top of things, but we loved working with them. They made it so easy for us.
All you need to know about real estate and more.
I am Lauren Risley. I'm here with my right-hand man, Adam Bundren. Every Sunday at 1 o'clock, you'll be hearing from us a full 1-hour show on all things real estate.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty every Sunday afternoon at 1. Powered by Homestead Financial Mortgage on the Big 550 KTRS.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, let's get right to it. We've got an election coming up here in St. Louis County. Sam Page has announced that he is no longer going to run as a St. Louis County executive, and so that's thrown the race wide open. And one of the county council members, Dennis Hancock, has now thrown his hat into the ring. Dennis Hancock joins us by phone for a couple minutes from the St. Louis County Council. Good morning, Dennis Hancock.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Apologize. We were supposed to get you on earlier, but I got busy, or you got busy, or we fell through the cracks, so we apologize, but we got you on now. You announced last week. My first question is, why in the world would you want to open yourself up to the criticism and the ridicule and the headaches that come with being St. Louis County executive?
You know, McGraw, when you put it that way, I'm not sure myself. No, I think that, some of us were born for that type of a position. And I've been a leader my whole life, whether it's been in my business career or my political career. And I like taking on those types of challenges and solving them and making things better for the people I represent.
So let's talk about the overall feelings. There's a lot of toxic feelings between the current county executive and the board. Can you play well with others? Can you play with the other side? Can you disagree without being disagreeable? How would you run the county executive office?
I think if you look at what we've been able to do for the 3+ years that I've been on the council, we now have a working group on the council. There's 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans who work together on these issues and work together to come up with solutions that will work for the county. We took on the challenge of the budget for 2026. We looked at what the county executive gave us and said we can do a lot better than that, and we did. And we've done that on several different issues. We found solutions to problems that the people in St. Louis County face every day. And that's probably the biggest strength that I would bring to the county executive's office is knowing how to work with people and knowing how to get things done by working with people instead of just, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah. Are you an anesthesiologist?
Well, I probably have put some people to sleep before, but no, I am not an anesthesiologist.
Do you have another job, and will you be doing that job if you become elected to St. Louis County Executive's role?
I do have another job, but the charter requires the county executive to give up all outside employment, and so that's my plan. If I get elected, I plan to give it up.
Okay, good. So that's interesting. That's new, the county executive giving up their job. All right. All joking aside, Dennis Hancock, what would you want to do? What do you think can be done to move the county forward? Where would you like to put your efforts?
I think the first thing that the next county executive has to do is bring a sense of competence to county government. We've been faced with dysfunction for so long and lack of leadership coming out of the county executive's office. We just need somebody that's going to come in and stabilize things, make sure that, when somebody's got a pothole in front of their house, that it gets fixed, that when it snows in the wintertime, we plow the streets. Just the basic stuff that government should be doing. Enough of all of the grandiose plans and grand pronouncements. We just need to do the business of government and give taxpayers a reasonable return for the investment that they make via their tax dollars.
You're a Republican. How is that going to play? How is that going to work? How are you going to become a Republican and get over the finish line?
It's been 40 years since the last time a Republican was elected county executive in St. Louis County. So it's a pretty good hill. But I think that if people take the time to listen to what my plans are, what my experience is, and the things that I would bring to that position, I think the D and R behind our names kind of fades from the picture. And I think people are just looking for somebody to come in and lead the county out of the mess that we're currently in.
Yesterday, there was a story that earlier this week, the county council looks like it's moving to putting on a county-wide ballot initiative that would have some type of internet tax for out-of-state purchases made online. It looks like it's going to be a vote of the people. Can you explain that? What exactly is that? And people kept complaining that they already pay some type of tax when they buy things online.
Well, it depends on where you're buying them from. If you're buying something online through a local retailer that collects sales tax at the point of sale, it's not going to make any difference. The difference comes in if you buy something from an out-of-state retailer today, you're not paying sales taxes on that. You're not paying the state sales tax. So what we would want to do is collect the county sales tax as part of that. I voted against it. I think it's a terrible time to ask the voters to give more taxes up, particularly when you're looking at every fire district in St. Louis County has a sales tax on the ballot in April. To me, we need to be able to convince the voters that we've done everything we can to reduce the cost of government based on the revenues we have. Our revenues are fine. They increase by 2 to 3% every year. It's just that our spending has outpaced the growth of revenue. We need to get that back under control, and that's something that I would bring to the table. I know how to do that.
Yeah, the budget deficit's what, $50 million? Where'd that money go, and what do you cut?
Well, the original budget that Dr. Page gave us was for an $80 million deficit. So when you look at what we've done so far, we've eliminated positions that hadn't been filled for a year or more. We just took those out of the budget rather than keep the money in the budget for those. We've also made sure that every employee back in December that had a job working for St. Louis County, those positions were fully funded for the rest of the year. Unlike the story that Dr. Page has been spinning for the last 3 months, the budget is not a draconian budget that the council came up with. We've eliminated some things, but we need to look at beyond just making cuts. We need to look at how does government function and how can we consolidate some of those functions to eliminate the waste and some of the paperwork and the things that not only cost the county government money, but also cost county businesses money and lost time spent running through the maze of red tape that currently exists in St. Louis County. If we can do that, I think we solve our budget problem pretty easily.
Would you be in favor of consolidating some services, say, with St. Louis City, if it made sense?
I would prefer to stay within the county. I think that right now, when I look at the state of St. Louis County and I look at the state of the city, and I've got a mess in one hand and a mess in the other hand. If I put my hands together, I don't have, a handful of sunshine and unicorns. I've got a bigger mess. And I think we need, for me, the county needs to solve its own problems here first. I think that, it's kind of like when you get on an airplane and they give you the safety talk and they tell you if the mask falls from the ceiling, put your own mask on before you help somebody else. That's where I think we need to be with St. Louis County. We need to be in a position to help the city, not to before we start talking about merging with them.
The St. Louis County has, the last check, 87, 86, 88 municipalities, 54 or 53 police departments. Could you see some merging of some of those entities within the St. Louis County?
I don't think anybody thinks that 88 municipalities is the right number for St. Louis County. I've said that since my time back when I was a mayor of one of those municipalities. I think that we need to look at how can those municipalities work together. And you've seen some of that already, like with the North County Police Cooperative and some of those efforts that have gone on between some of the cities. But I think the county can do some things to help encourage that along, maybe by providing some sort of a template for them to follow. A lot of these cities have a very difficult time supporting themselves, and I think we need to help them figure out a way to either do that or we can help them work together to resolve those issues.
Dennis Hancock, who is a St. Louis County Council member, just threw his hat into the ring in the Republican primary to become your next St. Louis County executive. Dennis Hancock, if you could do anything you wanted, one of the biggest questions we get here on the show is the Rams money. What would you want to do if you could do anything with the Rams money that was apportioned to St. Louis County?
Well, here's what I've said I would like to do with it is hold on to it until we have a plan to spend it. My big fear with the Rams money is that we're going to wake up one morning and find out that it's been frittered away on this or that, or used to fill a budget gap, or used for things that we're not going to have anything left to show for it. I think that we need to hold on to that. We can use the interest to help solve some of the issues that we have in the county. And we've allocated some of that money for for repairing subdivision streets in the county. But I think we really need to take a long, hard look at how much do we have left, which is about $120 million going into this year. And what makes sense to spend it on, or does it just make more sense to hold it as a rainy day fund? Because we don't have a rainy day fund in St. Louis County.
Dennis Hancock, you came on the show, I think last time the controversy broke that you hired your daughter in your office, which was against charter rules. Ultimately, you were charged, and those charges were dismissed. What are you telling voters now on the backside of that controversy?
What I'm telling them is the truth, that there was no violation. The prosecutor found no violation. The charges had been trumped up and in such a manner that it sounded much worse than it actually was. And the new prosecutor came in, looked at the evidence, and said, "There's nothing here." And so she dismissed it. We have much bigger issues to talk about in St. Louis County than something that wasn't an issue to begin with.
Certainly, but you did hire your daughter. Did you know at the time that that was against the charter rules?
I did not, and so but once I was informed of that, she was let go. And in reality, she submitted her resignation, or not a resignation. Because she was never technically hired by the county. The paperwork was never processed. And so she just simply sent them an email saying, "I don't want to work for the county anymore." And that was the end of it.
Yeah. And she was never paid any money, right? Or whatever money she was paid, it was paid back, or what, right? She was never paid any money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's the primary, Dennis Hancock?
Primary is in August, and at this point in time, knock on wood, I don't have a primary opponent, so hopefully it stays that way, and we'll find that out here over the course of the next 3 weeks or so.
What's been the response since you announced you're throwing your hat in the ring?
It's been very positive overall. I think from the Republican perspective, I think they see that I'm a viable candidate. I'm a real candidate. I've been a chief executive of a city in St. Louis County. I've been on the council now for going on 4 years. I have a track record that anybody can look at, and I'm proud to put up against anybody else's track record as far as experience is concerned, and the experience to lead St. Louis County into the future. One of the big things that I like to point to is when I was the mayor of Fenton, Chrysler was shut down, and that represented about 15% of the city's revenue. We found ways to continue to balance our budget without raising taxes and not reducing any basic services. So I'm proud of that, and I think those are the types of skills that the next county executive needs to have.
All right, Dennis Hancock, last question for you. We have a long list of elected officials who come on the show when they're running for election, and they win. And we often ask them, when you win, will you come back to the show? And very few return our phone calls after they are elected. If you become county executive, will you come back on the show from time to time and talk to the voters?
I've never been shy about talking to people, and if you need me to come back and explain something or to talk to the vote or just to say hi, I'm happy to do it.
All right, we will hold you to that. Dennis Hancock, St. Louis County Council member now, and has threw his hat into the ring for St. Louis County Executive. Dennis Hancock, good luck on the campaign trail. I'm sure we'll talk to you between now and primary day. So thanks for checking in.
Anytime, and have a great day. And if anybody needs more information, my website is hancockforcountyexecutive.com.
Thank you, Dennis Hancock, hancockforcountyexecutive.com. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. It's 9:25 here at Big 550. KTRS. Text lines, rare form. Hey, Scoots. Scoots, I need you. Called Scoots the other day. He works for the Maplewood office of appliance discounters. They've got 6 of them. Baldwin, Maplewood, St. Charles, St. Louis County, Afton, and Earth City. That St. Charles one is very active. It's in the Bass Pro Shop shopping center there on 94 or 5th Street right over there. It's right there. You can find them all at theappliancediscounters.com. They've got name brand appliances. I called up Scooter the other day. I needed a refrigerator. Called him up. I said, Scoots, here's what I need. He says, we got him. He says, when do you need it delivered? I said, as soon as possible. He said, how about tomorrow? Great. You want to take away the old one? Perfect. Do you want same as cash financing? No, I'll pay for it right away. Great. Give me your card. You got it. Do I get the extra 5% off? Of course you do. Can I get 10% off? No, you can't get 10% off. I tried. The extra 5% is on top of the already low price. At Appliance Discounters, name brands, factory warranties, factory rebates, all of that's included, and the customer service to boot. I don't know why anybody would go to a big box store. You're going to pay more and get less service. Why will you do that? I have no idea, but knock yourself out. Me, Appliance Discounters, 6 area locations. To find the one nearest you, theappliancediscounters.com. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, Dennis Hancock will return your calls if you don't block him. Yeah, that always helps. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, there's a crash on 270 North at 64 with a stop and go back up to Manchester. The estimated clearance time is 10:10. We have an accident on 55 South at the 44-55 Gravois merge, and 64 East is congested from McKnight to Big Bend. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Meet me at the Village Bar. Ready for the world's best cheeseburger, homemade onion rings, trashed wings? It's the Village Bar for food and sports. Cards, Blues, Mizzou, NFL, the game's always on. Open 7 days a week in De Pere. Grab your friends, grab a cold beer. We'll see you at the Village Bar.
Farmers and ranchers, when it's time to buy or sell ag equipment, think Purple Wave Auction. We're your go-to online marketplace for tractors, combines, sprayers, and more. With our no reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Experience the Purple Wave difference. Nationwide reach with a local touch. Purple Wave Auction. Whether you're expanding your operation or streamlining your fleet, we've got you covered. Visit purplewave.com today. Fuel your farm with Purple Wave Auction.
Are you ready for tax season? A new administration in Washington guarantees there are changes to the tax law coming. Don't let changes to the tax code catch you off guard. Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours, and the soon-to-be-released book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill. For 50 years, our team has helped hundreds of area businesses get their financial plans in order, reduce their tax liability, and stop overpaying their federal and state income taxes. If you're not taking full advantage of the tax law and you feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, then let us help you plan for 2026 and take advantage of the new tax laws. To learn more, give us a call at 636-394-5524 or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, it's Thursday. Mark Maxwell will be filling in for me tomorrow. I will not be here. Getting an early jump on a fish fry tomorrow, so there you go. And then, of course, Saturday, St. Patrick's Day parades and festivals all over town. But the real St. Patrick's Day parade is on St. Patrick's Day, and there can be only one, and that, of course, is the Dogtown St. Patrick's Day Parade. And lo and behold, Mike Quinn joins us. Mike Quinn, welcome to the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you letting me get on here and give you guys some info.
All right. What's your official title, Mike Quinn?
I am the president of the Ancient Order of Hibernians St. Louis County Board, which is the event that puts on the Ancient Order of Hibernians annual St. Patrick's Day Parade in Dogtown.
So you're the grand poobah. You're the one running this show.
Well, there's a lot of help, but yeah, technically that's correct, I guess, but it's not really. There's a lot of people involved. Plus, the Irish Festival of Colin O'Brien and Dogtown United is also helping as well. So,
all right. Hey, real quick, how long has Dogtown been holding the St. Patrick's Day Parade on St. Patrick's Day?
Technically, 1984 was the first Dogtown parade, and not counting the two that we didn't have in COVID, we're around 42 parades.
Yeah, I would still count COVID as, because we did it in spirit, even though you guys, you guys were the last ones to call it off. I give you guys a lot of credit. Right? Everybody else, they called up March Madness, and the story was, but the Dogtown parade is still on, and then you guys held out for as long as possible.
It was. I hated making that call. That was brutal, and yes, it was very last second. But got to do what you got to do, you know.
Yeah,
so.
Give me some of the highlights. Give me some of the numbers of this year's parade. What do we know?
We've got between 85 and 90 floats, pretty much all family oriented. Well, they're all family oriented floats. These guys spent a lot of time putting them together. So, multi-generational families have been doing this for, great grandpa, grandpa, dad, son, and everybody's carrying it on. So a lot of these folks have been in this parade for a very long time. Very proud of the Irish community as far as that goes. Parade, you can start getting into Dogtown area about 7:00 in the morning. Parade starts at 11. It's going to be really crowded, so get there early. And make sure you hit all the bars, restaurants, and our vendors and the Irish Festival guys. There's going to be lots of different things to attend and check out and just be all over Dogtown. Everybody's Irish on St. Paddy's Day.
That is true. How about the porta potty situation?
We have lots of porta potties. We have deployed more porta potties than you could take a stick at. And sometimes we deploy them and people move them around for their convenience, which is a little scary, but you never know. Sometimes you drive through Dogtown the day after and, wow, look at all the porta potties in people's backyards, you know.
Well, just don't use just don't use that poor guy's garage. Leave that poor guy's garage alone.
Oh, well, you know, in the old days that was totally legit. Now that's not. No, you can't do that.
All right, good. Is there a certain area marked off where you can't bring any alcohol or beverages or unopened cans of beer or anything?
You can't bring coolers in. You can't bring bottles in. It's pretty much about, if you go down Tam, you go 2 blocks each side of the parade route. That's pretty much where you're not allowed to bring anything in. And of course, we're trying to promote, doing business with the local vendors and the businesses there and stuff. So, so nothing gets possibly thrown or broken.
How many people? What's the estimate on the crowds?
Well, we've heard all kinds of crazy numbers, but legitimately, it's probably close to 75,000 people.
Wow.
Which is a whole lot of people for Dogtown. That's and we stretch it pretty much, from the staging area, which is in Wells in Forest Park, all the way down to Manchester, and it's pretty well packed. There's no open spaces along the route, so they're 5, 6, 7 deep, and people are throwing parties at their house, their front lawns, and oh my gosh, it's great. And decorating the houses along the way. So
it's a scene. It's a scene and a half. Yeah, so
you guys ought to be coming down and do a radio show from down there.
Well, I do a show in the morning, so I can't do that. I'll see if Carney can. His heart can only take so much these days. But I may or may not have gone to a St. Patrick's Day parade in Dogtown before, and I may or may not have needed an Uber to get home. So I may
or may not know how that goes.
I have enjoyed your fair part of the city from time to time, that is for sure. Mike Quinn, is there a website for people to find out more about all this stuff?
Our website for the county board is stlaoh.org.
There you go. Mike Quinn.
And there should be info in there. So
there you go.
Sure.
Mike Quinn, have a good, safe Tuesday. Enjoy the day, and thanks for all you do.
You're welcome, sir. Thanks for letting us on. Appreciate it.
Mike Quinn, who is in charge of the Ancient Hibernians, and he's in charge of the Dogtown St. Patrick's Day Parade on Tuesday. All the other ones are Saturday, but the real one is on Tuesday. Hey, Dave, the trash artist, joins us. Dave, good morning. Welcome to Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, McGraw. Thanks for taking my call. I wanted to invite you. I'm having a exhibition with another artist over at the City Museum.
Oh, my goodness.
Robot Renaissance. I make all kind of art, but I do have some fun making robots. So I've got some anywhere from 2.5 to over 5 foot robots there.
Are they moving robots? Are they actually?
They don't move. They're sculptural. They do light up, and if you maybe have enough of drinks after you come back from a St. Paddy's Day, they might move for you.
they spin.
Yeah.
Okay, for those who don't know, Dave, you called up a couple months ago, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, and you're an artist, and you put on shows in U City, right? You have a gallery in U City on Delmar?
Yeah, I'm over on Delmar at Artisans in the Loop, and also I'm over at STL Virtuoso Collective on Cherokee.
Beautiful. Now, and you were talking about I was sort of getting you to wanting to jack up your prices. How are we doing? How are we doing on that project?
We're doing good. I've been bringing my prices up, and actually, I've got some other shows coming up to some other galleries, and it kind of depends on sometimes where you're at in regards to the clientele, so how much money they'll spend. So I've got a couple of things in the works where I'll be able to, get more people appreciating and paying up.
Yeah.
But even stuff at the City Museum will be for sale.
Yeah. How much is the stuff at the City Museum?
I think I got a Robbie the Robot that's I think it's $600.
No,
I could probably even go more. But here's the thing: I can't hang on to these things forever and wait for a buyer. How many people want? I know I've got several people who have several of my my robot sculptures, but it's a limited clientele, so I kind of have them priced at a.
All you need is one. That's the City Museum, right? That sort of brings in some sort of quirky, high-end personnel, right? This has got a more of an affluent sort of guest list. All you need is one, Dave. All you need is one. If you sell one of those robots for $10,000, all you need is one, and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, the guy pulled it out of a trash and made a robot, and now he's selling it for $10,000. Boom! I'm telling you, man. Yeah. Hold the line, act the act, walk the walk. I'm telling you, man. Jack up those prices to ridiculous. You'll get somebody to bite. I'm telling you.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. I appreciate your enthusiasm. You're a straight up dude, man.
Dave, thank you very much. Good luck. Let me know how it goes.
All right, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
Dave, the artist, called up I don't know, it was a year or so ago, and he's a dumpster diver, and he takes stuff out of the dumpster and he makes art out of it. And he has this little gallery on U City in Delmar, and he was telling me that he sells it for a couple $100. I'm like, no, act it. That's like that. Who's the guy? I think he just passed.
The banana art guy?
No, worse than the banana guy. So on Market Street, across the street.
Oh, the Serra sculpture.
The Serra sculpture, Richard Serra. Across the street from the old Channel 5 building,
mm-hmm.
There is what appears to be 3 gigantic sheets of metal.
Garbage.
Like 20 feet tall and maybe 30 yards long. And there's 3 of them. And they're sort of placed in a loose triangle. And the city paid millions for these things. And it literally looks like they forgot to finish demolishing the building that was there.
It looks like an accident.
It looks like they ran out of money demolishing the building that was there, and they just left these 3 sort of pieces of metal that they didn't have a place to put. That's how bad it looks, and I'm not kidding you. And I'm being generous. And they paid millions for this thing, and it's a world-class famous structure. And nobody, why you ever would do this? But it was millions of dollars because somebody deemed this guy worth $1 million. Dave, the trash artist, I'm telling you, man, we got to get that guy. We got to get that guy going for like $500,000.
Just
something.
One piece.
Just act it. Just act it. Right. I mean, look at all these people. Just somebody says, "Oh, Van Gogh. Oh, yeah, Van Gogh," and then all of a sudden, right? It catches fire. You just need one person.
Yeah, but he wasn't famous till after he died.
But if he's like, someone says 1,000, he says, I wouldn't depart with this unless it was $20,000. It's all about value. You give away something for free, that's what people value it as. You give it away for $20,000, guess what? That same thing that was free is now worth $20,000. Now it's worth something. That's the way your mind works. 942 here, Big 550. KTRS. Let's talk about Miller Furniture. Miller Furniture, speaking about quality, holy mackerel. They got this Amish deal going on right now. Make a special custom order of Amish furniture, any one of the 4 locations over the next 2 weeks. They will then hand deliver your custom order to the Amish factories in Pennsylvania, I think in Ohio, and I think in Indiana. They're going on a little bit of a junket. And they'll hand deliver it, and you will get thousands of dollars off because you're kind of cutting out all the middlemen. It's sort of a special order, and they've been doing this for years at Miller Furniture, and people love it. So you go into any one of their 4 locations, Lake St. Louis out at the Meadows, Fairview Heights in Illinois, Ellisville on Manchester Road, and in Belleville, and go see the Amish section and go talk to the one of the designers and figure out exactly what's going on, and then when you make your purchase of your custom Amish furniture, dressers and tables and chairs and whatever else, and they'll hand deliver it, and you save thousands of dollars off that order. It's a pretty sweet deal. Plus, it's beautiful, gorgeous Amish furniture, and the old world craftsmanship, and the stains, and the colors, and the design, and the hardwoods themselves, just absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. Miller Furniture, up to 60 months, same as cash financing, coming up on 100 years working here in St. Louis. MUELLER, MillerFurniture.com.
Attention St. Louis sports enthusiasts. On March 24th, the Blues and Cardinals join forces for a night of STL sports fandom. It's Cardinals Night. Immerse yourself in the ultimate celebration of our city's passion for sports when the Blues take on the Washington Capitals and Enterprise Center. Theme night buyers will take home an exclusive Blues and Cardinals co-branded quarter zip, perfect for showing your support for both teams. Get your tickets now at stlouisblues.com/promotions.
Get your reservations in now for Bishop's Post. Bishop's Post. They have the best version of your classic favorites. Located in Chesterfield, Bishop's Post is the perfect spot for that celebration.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
It's Julie Buck with a big congratulations to our friends at the Abbey. They have been around now for 12 years here in St. Louis. Everything you could possibly want for gifts, for your home, furnishings that you would not believe. Just an unbelievable spot just west of 141 on Manchester. And this Thursday through Sunday, you get 20% off to celebrate 12 years in business. Congratulations, ladies. You've done a fabulous job. It's the Abbey. You can find out more online, marketplace at theabbey.com.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation. For foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing, choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack, solid as rock.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, your opinion on art is you and that make it okay, but Richard Serra is a world-class artist from Bob the Robot Builder. I'd rather give Bob the Robot Builder $1 million than Richard Serra from the Serra Sculpture. If an artist thinks their art is cheap, so will the potential buyers. Hey, McGraw, you are so correct about art. That's why I have a banana taped to my wall. 618, homeless people relieve themselves on that sculpture. Here's another one. My office overlooked that stupid Serra sculpture for 11 years. Lots of things happened behind those walls that we could see from 11 stories up. Lois, good morning. Welcome to KTRS.
Good morning, McGraw. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for calling.
Good, good. You know, I have used several of your advertisers, Tuck Pointing Guy, and
Sure.
I'm not going to go into naming all of them, but but I always appreciate the way you advertise people because it sounds very genuine. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I need a plumber right now, and I don't think I've ever heard you advertise a plumber. Do you have someone that you got to get your salespeople busy?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we got to get the salespeople busy. Mark Kelly, what are you doing? Mike Dorsey, stop sitting on your brains all day and go out and find us a plumber. What's your plumbing problem, Lois?
Well, I live in an older house built in 1927, and the water going outside to the garden area, to the outside of the house, the pipe is so old that I've even had people try to unscrew the faucet because it's leaking.
Yeah.
And it's not a washer. We tried that. So the pipe itself is going to have to be replaced, and it's galvanized, and, on and on and on and on. It's just an old house, and it needs a little TLC.
Yeah, they call those, what do they call those? The permanent shutoff or the winter, the antifreeze shutoff valves where...
Yeah, but it can't work like that because about 6 feet of the pipe runs under my sun porch, which is not insulated. So there's none of those anti-freeze faucets that have a tube that long. It's kind of a perplexing mystery.
So you can. So do you have to drain it every year and sort of winterize that faucet?
I don't do that. I turn in the basement. There's an off and on, valve.
Yeah.
So I turn that valve off when it starts to get cold, and then I let it drain outside. So then it's fine because the pipe is empty. But I was prepared to do that this year and went to turn it on, and the outside faucet will not work. It will not shut it off. So my ex, who I love very much, put in a new washer for me, and that didn't work. So we tried all kinds of stuff. So I guess he said, you might want to get a real person in this instance.
So so you called up your ex, who you still love, to work on your plumbing. That sounds like a whole hour conversation, Lois. We might have to go to the Piccadilly.
Yeah,
Holy
he's
mackerel!
A wonderful guy.
So what happened? What is a great guy?
Well,
you still love him.
I turned off the valve in the basement.
No, not the plumbing. The husband. What happened to the husband?
Oh,
he's a great guy. You still love him. He still comes over and does the plumbing. What happened?
Let's see. What is the easiest way to say this? We were married 20 years, divorced for about 30 years. I love him like a brother. Does that make sense?
Oh, that explains a lot. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
There
Talking
you
to
go.
somebody who's been engaged to the same woman twice, I know there's always a story in there, Lois. Lois,
always a story. You're right.
Lois, it sounds to me like you need a plumber.
Hey, that's a great idea.
I would
do
not.
Do any of your advertisers or plumbers or not?
I would not call Morelli Tuck Pointing for that, and I would not call St. Louis Closet Company.
God, he was so good in my basement redoing my walls.
Oh, they're so good. Yeah, no, Morelli's fantastic.
And that crew that he has, they're wonderful.
Yes.
They're just great.
Don't call Stuart from Stewart's American Mortgage. Definitely.
No, I won't. Well,
No.
I tried that, but I could. My house that I wanted to buy wasn't over $200,000.
Oh, okay. All right. Here's what I'll do, Lois. I'll put you on hold, and Carl will take down your phone number, okay?
Okay.
We'll see if we can get a plumber or two to give you a call, a little recommendation from the Big 550 KTRS, and we'll see if we can find a plumber who will come out and take care of it for you.
And I'd love to hear you talking about a plumber. Because you talk about Michael Baldy all the time, so put that plumber on that speed dial too.
I hear you, Lois. Hold that thought. I'll give Carl. Carl will take down your phone number, and we'll see if we can find a plumber for you.
Thank you very much.
You got it, Lois. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how it works on the Big 550 KTRS. How about that? Her ex-husband comes over and tries fixing the faucet for her. That sounds like a pretty sweet deal. What a sweet woman.
Loves the advertisers.
What a sweet woman. And
advertising works.
I wonder why Mark Kelly hasn't found us a plumber. Come to think of it, I don't think we've ever advertised for a plumber. I had a guy, he's since retired. It was a neighborhood guy. I don't know where I found him. And he would come to the house. He was a plumber. And he would come to the house, and I had some plumbing. He helped me with the drain in the basement and helped me with a couple other things. The only problem with this guy was he was great. Nice guy. But he liked to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, did he like to talk. And
that was your whole day.
Well, and I didn't mind talking to the guy, but I'm like, hey, you're charging me by the hour here. Let's stop with the questions and get back to work over here. And so he would whistle while he worked and ask me a million different questions. And then he retired, and I called him up for something. He's like, I'm retired. I'm done. I was like, okay, well, thanks for nothing. But no, we don't have a plumber on the show. We got to work on that. Lois. That's what I'm talking about. Lois, thanks. Good stuff. 314, plumbers are too busy. They don't need to advertise. That's a good point, too. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about losing some weight and these GLP-1s. You know, you got to find a primary care doctor, then you have to go to the pharmacy, and they're usually out, or it's coming next week or coming Tuesday or whatever else. Look, if you call St. Louis STL Med Weight Loss, Dr. Joe, he's streamlined the whole process, so it's as easy as possible. In terms of pricing, he can't make it any easier. Introductory pricing starting as low as $200 a month. He's got 6-month plans starting at $299. You can lock in the price today for $299. Any dose, the full 6-month term, no surprise increases, nothing like that. It's simple, easy, and we all know it works. So if you're ready and you're done with all the noise and you're sick and tired of the yo-yo diets and the starting and the stopping, and you really want to start losing weight and you really want to get on top of it, Dr. Joe, STLMedWeightLoss.com. The website's great. Give him a call. He can set up a meeting with you in the next 24 to 48 hours, depending on your schedule. He can get the medicine sent to your house 24 hours, 48 hours after that. In no time, you'll be losing weight and getting healthy. STLMedWeightLoss.com. STLMedWeightLoss.com. Still going? What am I going? 5750?
Yes, sir.
All right. Keep talking. Lois loves ex like brother. Reciprocated feelings?
Meaning, does her ex?
Oh, yeah.
Does he still love her?
We'll have to get him on. Yeah. Let's see here. During lunch hour, Dogtown lawyers used to play wiffle ball inside the Sarah sculpture. Downtown lawyers would play wiffle ball inside the Sarah sculpture. That's cool. I agree with you. I agree. You have that voice like Paul Harvey when Paul was doing advertising. Paul Harvey, good day. I've told that story before. Rembrandt
toothbrush or toothpaste.
Rembrandt toothpaste. I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, and I was taking a shower, going to work one morning, and this is the most hilarious thing. People are like, oh, we have to get into social media. We have to get into social media. Again, 10% of the people watch or listen to social media. Radio people listen in the shower. You can't get any more powerful than people listening in the shower. I was listening in the shower. Paul Harvey, good day, came on, and he started talking about this Rembrandt toothbrush. And I literally almost turned off the shower and went out to the store to get Rembrandt toothpaste. That's how good it was. And, 3/4 of the way through the commercial, I was like, wait a minute. This is a commercial.
You thought it was content.
I was like, this is the greatest toothpaste in the world. I got to get this toothpaste. Turned out it was a commercial. All right, music says we're done. Frank and Jill come your way. Missouri taking on Kentucky. And then Carney and Buck after that. And then, of course, the afternoon show. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for putting up with me. Lois, we'll find a plumber for you. See you tomorrow. No, Marks Maxwell in tomorrow. See you Monday.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation for foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing. Choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis.